long video. I don't know if I don't even know if I'm gonna stream for that long because it's late at night right now. It's a video about human nature, paradoxes and within human nature, and I think it would be an interesting video to react to and talk about. I've seen a little bit of it. My friend Jisho sent me, or he streamed the video of it in the Discord. About he streamed a video and we talked about it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I thought about it. I was like, it would be an interesting video to react to. So that's what we finna dive into tonight. You know what I'm saying?
From the moment we are born, we seek the comfort of others. Our
Hold
first
on. Captions.
cries are an instinctive call for attention, for care. As we grow, the need for relationships only deepens. We crave companionship, understanding, and intimacy. At our core, we want to feel seen, heard, and valued by others. However, even though we deeply desire connection, we often build walls to protect ourselves from the very vulnerability that true connection requires. The fear of being vulnerable is a common experience. Vulnerability is seen as a form of weakness in many parts of society. We are taught to protect ourselves, to shield our emotions, and to maintain a facade of strength. We hear phrases like, "Don't let them see you sweat," or "Keep your guard up." This advice, often well-meaning, creates an environment where showing our true selves can feel like a risk. The fear is that if we let others see who we really are, flaws, fears, insecurities, we might be rejected or judged. It's easier to hide behind a mask, to present a version of ourselves that feels safer but less authentic. But the irony is that the very walls we build to protect ourselves also block the depth of connection we long for. In the end, shallow interactions leave us feeling more isolated, not less. We crave relationships where we can be real, where we can be our true selves, yet we often hide behind layers of what we think others expect of us. This contradiction causes internal conflict, as we yearn for closeness but simultaneously push it away out of fear. Think about a conversation with a friend. On the surface, everything might seem fine. You talk about your day, exchange pleasantries, maybe even share a joke. But how often do we reveal the deeper parts of ourselves? How often do we talk about our worries, our vulnerabilities, or our dreams that feel too risky to share? These deeper connections are what truly nourish relationships, but the fear of being judged or misunderstood keeps us from opening up fully. This fear of vulnerability isn't just about revealing weaknesses. It's also about revealing our desires, our dreams, and our true feelings. We might fear being seen as too much or not enough. It's easy to convince ourselves that we are safer in our comfort zones, hiding the parts of ourselves that are the most human. But without these raw moments of honesty, we miss the opportunity for real connection. The desire for deep relationships is innate, yet the fear of vulnerability holds us back. When we withhold our true selves, we create a distance, a gap between ourselves and others. In a sense, we keep people at arm's length, even though we long for closeness. We may even end up feeling lonely in the midst of our closest relationships, because we haven't shared what truly matters to us. Consider the dynamic of a romantic relationship. The beginning of such a connection is often filled with excitement and possibility. Both people are eager to impress one another, to show their best selves. Yet, it's not until both individuals begin to share their deeper emotions, their fears, past experiences, and vulnerabilities, that the relationship begins to truly deepen. It's easy to avoid showing vulnerability when we haven't fully accepted ourselves. If we don't love and embrace who we are, flaws and all, it becomes difficult to open up to others. Self-acceptance is the foundation for being vulnerable with others.
Bro, that is like a very good topic to like explore, honestly. And I think a lot of people with the root issue of like people not expressing vulnerability, where that comes from is like, yeah, a lot of men grow up in cultures where they have to be stoic and unshaken, where they have to appear strong and masculine and not cry, you know what I'm saying, show emotions like that. You know what I'm saying? And stoicism, that's not the shit on stoicism, because I think stoicism can be very useful in life. It can be a very useful philosophy. But I think a lot of people misunderstand stoicism and act like you're supposed to not have emotional expression. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's really a misunderstanding of stoicism in general. But a lot of men have like really misconstrued stoicism and acting like they have to be like unshaken at all times no matter what happens, and it's crazy. Not opening up to other people, gotta appear strong, gotta handle it yourself. It's unhealthy as fuck emotionally. You know what I'm saying? For your mental health and everything, it's unhealthy. And I don't and I think a lot of men need to drop that. But also, um, a lot of people have grew up in environments where showing emotions have constantly like showing emotions, you know what I'm saying, having that emotional expression has constantly like not rewarded them. It has made everything worse, to be fair. Like let's say someone expressed their emotion to their parents, like depression or whatever. Their parents might be like, you need to get off that damn phone, that's what you need to do. Or they'll be like, you ain't depressed, you got a roof over your head and all that. They'll dismiss their feelings instantly because they feel like their parental duties or what the care that they shown for their child is enough for them to not have depression. And that's the crazy part about it. And then if they're rejected by the parents, their most important figures in their life, then why show emotions to others? You know what I'm saying? Because they have that fear of rejection, that fear of not being understood, like the video said. But I feel like it could have went deeper into that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people have been in those situations where they were misunderstood in the past, and that, you know what I'm saying, that closed off their emotions. You know what I'm saying? It made them not open up to other people and to and with those negative experiences when it comes to showing vulnerability, you know what I'm saying, it builds up over time, and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna be vulnerable to these people because I know what happened in the past and it can happen again, and so I don't want it to happen again, so I'm not gonna open up. And it's like, damn, these past experience people, humans are built by experience, bro. They've been through those experiences before where they open up and it has not rewarded them. So to a degree, yes, vulnerability is very risky because you can be misunderstood, you can be, you know what I'm saying, like dismissed, like it happens. It can definitely happen. It's very risky. There is no guarantees to be understood or for your emotions to be received well by other people. There's no guarantees to that. You know what I'm saying? Because once people know your true feelings, they can easily reject you, easily misunderstand you, easily, you know what I'm saying? Easily dismiss it. Like, it's a lot that can go into that. You know what I'm saying? It's not all like black and white. You know what I'm saying? It's some nuance because people have been punished for showing emotions. So, especially men, they've been punished for showing emotions. That's why they don't do it. Uh, yeah, I feel like with people, like I said, I believe or I think it's true that a lot of people are majority of humans are a product of their own environments. You know what I'm saying? So like once they go, they're built by their experience. They're built by the places they grew up in. So once they go through those negative experiences of showing vulnerability, of course that's going to affect them to a very negative degree. And of course they're not going to show that vulnerability to other people because they've been punished in the past before so constantly. So it's like, what is the point? You know what I'm saying? And even trying anymore to express myself. And it's really sad, to be honest. I, for me myself personally, I guess it's like different because I'm not saying I've been punished for showing vulnerability because I've been vulnerable to my friends before. It's just that I guess for me, I don't. I can probably show some vulnerability, but not 100%. Because I feel like I can express vulnerability to myself, self reflect for myself. You know what I'm saying? Just self introspection for myself, and I feel like that's enough. You know, I don't feel like expressing that type of vulnerability to my family or nothing like that. I rarely express my vulnerability to my family. It's rare, honestly. I'll show them that I'm struggling with something and shit like that, but it's like I don't express myself deeply. You know what I'm saying? It's mostly superficial, so I don't really express my vulnerability to my family like that because I know, guaranteed, they would not be able to help me. You know what I'm saying? Because I look into it as like getting help and shit like that, but I feel like for me, I can help myself more than anyone else can, and I feel like that's probably true for like most people. They would have to help themselves. I get that, and there's only so much people can do to help you because in the end you have to save yourself. But yeah, I guess I suffer with that to an extent. Not with, I mean, it depends. For my friends, I can be vulnerable to them, but just not more than I be vulnerable to myself. Because I often talk to myself and self reflect about a lot of my issues, and so and that in itself really helps way more than talking to somebody else. That's just me though. Like I said, I'm a very individualistic person, so I feel like I can rely on myself for those type of things a lot more than relying on someone else. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it might seem like it might seem it it might seem like for it to be pointless to talk to somebody else about my issues. You know what I'm saying? But it helps strengthen relationships with other people. So I think that's a good thing to do. I can understand it being a very productive thing to do, but like I said before, I'm a very individualistic person due to other issues that I don't want to talk about right now. But yes, vulnerability is key to strengthening relationships, especially romantic relationships. Opening up to each other, being vulnerable with each other, having shared experiences, shit like that. It builds trust. It builds, you know what I'm saying? It builds a lot of shit within the relationship that you need for it to be strong. So, like, it's gonna be a lot of, bro. It's a lot of cooking happening tonight in this video, bro. It's a lot of cooking. Cause this motherfucker spitting. This motherfucker spitting right now. I ain't gonna lie. This nigga spitting.
Between two desires, the need for freedom and the longing for structure. We often hear people talk about wanting to live freely, without constraints. It's a powerful idea. Freedom feels like the ultimate form of self-expression, where we can do what we want when we want without being held back. Yet, at the same time, we often feel overwhelmed by too much freedom. In reality, we crave structure. We want some kind of rules, guidelines, or frameworks to help us make sense of the world. We want freedom, but we also want something to put.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Cause I spoke on people fearing vulnerability, and I forgot about the craving for connection thing. Yeah, that's important too. Cause I do crave for connections as well. Um, Especially true connections where you resonate with somebody so strongly, and it's like I don't think I like had that in a while. Honestly, like resonating with somebody so strongly, not like a soulmate, because honestly, you can have multiple soulmates. I don't think soulmates is just one person, because people acting like it's just one person. Nah, soulmates can be multiple people, bro. I feel like that can be like a whole community, if anything. But besides that, I think craving connection is a very human thing as well. And yet we like fear vulnerability. It ties into what I said earlier about how people fear how and why people fear vulnerability. But also like yeah, craving true connection is like a real thing, but we have to sit there and like overcome our fears and opening up and like you know what I'm saying in order to strengthen those connections, in order to you know what I'm saying build up our connections with other people, we have to open up to each other despite our fears. You know what I'm saying? It comes to a point where you just have to overcome your fears and take a risk to open up to this person and hope they accept you for what you are, hope they understand you on a deeper level, hope they don't dismiss you and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Push against.
But back to this. Let me rewind it a little bit.
Yet, at the same time, we often feel overwhelmed by too much freedom. In reality, we crave structure. We want some kind of rules, guidelines, or frameworks to help us make sense of the world. We want freedom, but we also want something to push against, something to give us direction. Freedom can be intoxicating. It's the idea that we can make choices without being controlled. It's the allure of the open road, the ability to create our own path without needing permission. But when we are truly free, when there are no rules or restrictions, it can feel daunting. The possibilities seem endless, and while that might sound ideal, it can often be paralyzing. We wonder, where do we start? What do we do first? How do we know if we're making the right choice? Without structure, the freedom we seek can become an overwhelming flood of options, and the pressure to make the right choice can lead to indecision and frustration. In contrast, structure provides the clarity we need. A set of rules, guidelines, or routines gives us a framework within which we can operate. It offers a sense of security and predictability. Structure can feel like a safety net, allowing us to navigate the complexities of life without fear of falling. It gives us a path to follow, making it easier to make decisions and focus on what matters. Without structure, we might feel like we are drifting, unsure of where we are heading. Yet, while we often seek structure, we also feel a need to rebel against it. We don't want to be completely confined by rules. The more rigid the structure, the more we might feel trapped. We start to crave the freedom to break away, to test the boundaries, to push against the system. There's a certain thrill in challenging authority, in bending or breaking the rules. This tension between the need for structure and the desire for freedom is part of what makes us human. We want the security that structure provides, but we also need the space to explore and create. This dynamic can be seen in many aspects of life. In the workplace, for example, employees often appreciate clear guidelines and expectations. A well-structured environment helps them understand their role and what is expected of them. It creates efficiency and order. But when that structure becomes too rigid, when there is little room for creativity or autonomy, employees may begin to feel stifled. They may long for the freedom to make their own decisions, to think outside the box. Structure doesn't limit us. It actually helps us focus our energy and take concrete steps toward achieving what we want.
Hmm.
Still, there's always a part of us that resists feeling too controlled, that seeks to push back against any system that feels too limiting. This tension is particularly evident in how we relate to rules. Rules are meant to keep things orderly, to create consistency and fairness. They help guide behavior and ensure that things run smoothly. But rules can also feel restrictive. They can make us feel like we are being told exactly how to behave, and that can feel uncomfortable. This is why, when faced with rules, we often look for ways to bend or break them. It's not necessarily that we don't understand their purpose, but that we want to assert our independence and autonomy. We want to remind ourselves and others that we can choose, that we are not bound by restrictions. The desire for structure without being overwhelmed by it is also seen in our personal lives.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mm,
Cause I definitely relate to that. Like being at work and stuff, having these strict ass rules, and the rules become too strict, and like you have this innate desire to just like do what the fuck you want to do, like get on your phone while you're working or something like that, or like you know what I'm saying, not do this or that, not follow certain safety guidelines, and it's like yeah, it comes to a point where it's like you're being controlled and you don't want to be controlled. You want to have your own autonomy. You want to do what the fuck you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to. You know what I'm saying? You don't want these strict ass rules controlling your every move. Like
that,
yeah,
that, that, that is true. I actually like that one, and also, while I do understand like some people, because I tend to, I'll say it myself, like at work I tend to do everything the easy way. Like I'll sit there and I'll tell somebody, "Yo, this is the shortcut to do something," because it's like every job, every job has rules.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? For example, like you can, like for example, bartending. Some people they'll sit there and they'll do some things like an ounce at a time. You know what I'm saying you'll do an ounce of this at a time, an ounce of that at a time. Some people do like three. Some people will pick up three bottles and put that ounce in at the same time, and then you'll
mm,
be like, how you know if you filled that correctly? I'm
damn,
saying like how you know you just fill 3 ounces of each thing instead
mm,
of just being 1 ounce of each. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah,
but then you figure it because it's like you filled 3 ounces of one of all three of them at the same time because your creativeness believed okay you put 1 ounce each by pouring it by pouring three things at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And that's innovativeness. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people usually will tell you to do things one at a time, so you don't mess up the balance.
yeah,
But like if
yeah,
you, but at the same time, if you do it your way and it works out for you, and it's not violating rules to where like you might get fired. Like
yeah,
it's okay. Like some people will tell you rules are meant to be broken. Like it's not all the time you not everything should be one way. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
There's more ways. There's many ways to skin a cat. I hate that saying, but
Yeah, just a lot of these workplaces pushes like one way to do, one thing to do, or like one task. Like this is how you should do the task, and not this way or that way. And it's like, damn, people can't innovate. People can't get creative and like find new ways to like work faster or be more productive, or like, you know what I'm saying, not work too hard. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, it just comes to a point. That's why I always push work smarter, not harder, bro. Like, and that's when it gets tricky because people got to follow certain rules and structures in order to like, you know what I'm saying, not face consequences and shit. And it's like, damn, it just comes to a point where it's like, yeah, it just like these are like we have like very like structural like work cultures and shit like that we have to like sit there and like, you know what I'm saying, adapt to. And it's like, yeah, it leaves way less room for freedom, but people do it anyway while taking that risk. You know what I'm saying? In order to be more productive or like, you know what I'm saying, not work too hard. And I understand all that for sure because I tend to do that a lot as well. Try to find my own ways of doing shit and like not, you know what I'm saying, follow the rules because it becomes too rigid and like it limits what I want to do, of course. And it's like, yeah, we desire freedom and also structure. And like the video said, it's not necessarily a contradiction because it's really just a way to shape how we live in order to, you know what I'm saying, have a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Like,
yeah,
and for example, like you said, in like a relationship, like sometimes, yeah, you would like structure in a relationship because too much freedom can cause chaos sometimes. Because you don't know how people feel when you do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it's like, okay, I understand it on all sides of that, on all sides of that. But like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like we can, but like, if anything, we just want to make sure like we all do it for each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we're gonna be playing the playing field, like we gotta love the playing field for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Not just us.
facts, facts. Damn, bro. Niggas gotta find that balance between freedom and structure, like for real. Cause I be like trying to make routines for myself. Cause I be disappointed. Cause I be having so many interests at once, and I be wanting to do certain stuff in like 24 hours and shit. Watch a movie, do this or that, and it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to make a routine, and then I'm like, no, I want to have freedom and make my own choices, and I'm like, damn, fuck. It's hard for me to make a structure since I want to like do every damn thing. I want to make all these choices and shit. And it's like I don't like being limited to doing certain shit per day because it's like, yeah, it's kind of boring or like it's very limiting because I want to make other choices. You know what I'm saying? I want to do things out of order sometimes, and it's like, yeah,
You feel me? I feel that. You know what I'm saying? That's how it. How do I say it? It's a it's a really good way to understand. Like you at least know that you feel like you could do something different. You know what I be like? For example, like I realize like people with ADHD,
yeah,
no lie, be having like the most efficient way of doing things. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's to the point where like they'll sit there and be like, okay, I need you to do it this way, and they'll ask you why. It's not even to just disrespect the shit or whatever case may be. They'll be like, yo,
yeah,
why I want it this way? Because I feel like if I do it this way, it's faster. It's faster and more efficient. And when they do it and they prove it, it's like, yo, hold up,
hmm,
he cooking.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, for me, be like, yo, let him do what he wants as long as for me, as long as it's done. Because for me, they don't really care about how it gets done. They care about how, as long as it's done right. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
If it can be done right a different way, yeah, by all means. You know what I'm saying?
facts.
So,
Yeah, I'm about to say yeah. It's an issue I definitely struggle with, but I'm gonna find some, find a way.
everybody has a structure, but not everybody has the same structure.
Yeah,
That's at least at least at least that's what makes the world a beautiful place because some people live you could have so many different ways of doing things and it's like, yo, damn, really?
yeah,
Right. If everybody did one thing, if everybody did one thing or everybody followed one rule, everything would be equal but be boring.
yeah. No one being innovative or nothing different. Like,
Yes. Like you have one innovative person and everybody else is just following the rules. Like,
Yeah, that sucks. I ain't gonna
Exactly. See,
lie.
like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Is a basic human desire, a goal that drives much of what we do. We dream of a life where we feel content, fulfilled, and at peace. But often, instead of moving toward the things that actually bring us lasting happiness, we end up chasing things that make us unhappy. We focus on external measures of success, money, status, validation, thinking that these things will bring us the happiness we seek. However, more often than not, they don't. Money is one of the most common things we chase. We think that if we just have enough of it, everything else will fall into place. If we can pay off our debts, buy the things we want, and live in comfort, we'll be happy. But while money can make life easier and remove some stress, it doesn't guarantee happiness. In fact, the pursuit of wealth can sometimes make us less happy. We can become obsessed with acquiring more, measuring our success by the size of our bank account, and comparing
Hmm.
ourselves to others who have more. This constant chase can lead to stress, dissatisfaction, and a sense of emptiness. We might end up working long hours or sacrificing personal time in the name of earning more,
Hmm.
only to find that the extra money doesn't actually improve our well-being. The
Hmm.
desire for money can become all-consuming, leaving us with less time for the people and experiences that truly make us happy.
Hmm.
Status is another thing many people chase. We want to be seen as successful, admired, or respected. We look for recognition, for others to acknowledge our achievements, our appearance, or our position in life. We believe that if we just have the right job, the right title, or the right social media following, we'll be happy. But status is a fleeting thing. It's based on how others perceive us, and their opinions can change quickly. The
Hmm.
more we focus on status, the more we rely on external validation to feel good about ourselves. This leaves us vulnerable to feelings of inadequacy and insecurity, especially when we don't receive the recognition we expect. We may also spend so much time trying to maintain our status that we lose sight of what truly matters to us. The pursuit of status often takes us further from happiness, not closer to it.
Damn.
But this kind of external validation is unreliable. It's fleeting. People's opinions change, and the validation we receive can never fully satisfy our deeper need for self-acceptance. The more
Hmm.
we rely on others to tell us our worth, the less we feel in control of our own happiness.
Hmm.
We become dependent on external factors, which makes us vulnerable to disappointment and self-doubt.
Hmm.
These things, money, status, and validation, are not inherently bad. In fact, they can be useful and necessary in many ways. But the problem arises when we make them the sole focus of our lives.
Hmm.
When we believe that acquiring them will bring us lasting happiness,
Hmm.
we end up focusing on the wrong things. We chase after things that give us temporary satisfaction but fail to provide the deeper fulfillment we're looking for. Happiness isn't found in the things we accumulate or the approval we seek from others.
Hmm.
It's found within ourselves, in the way we approach life and the choices we make.
Oh my goodness. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Mm,
That shit
keep
got me
talking.
tripping.
Keep talking.
Bro, hey man, listen. I mean, I've talked about this topic many times, but it's just like, I know niggas be talking about money does buy happiness, and I get it. I agree to an extent. It does to a certain point. Like you getting
I'd
$1 million,
say,
that is like
I'd,
unnecessary. I ain't gonna lie. You do not
I'd,
need $1 million fucking dollars. Like niggas
I'd,
become
I'd,
or being a billionaire or some shit. Like you don't need
I,
to be a billionaire to be happy.
however, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say buy happiness, but it builds the bridge to get there.
Yeah, I
Because
think it does contribute. That's I say it contributes to
it
happiness.
builds, it builds the bridge to get there. Because let me tell you, right? For example, like we sit there, we have debts we want to pay off, we got payments we got to pay off, and then we don't make that much money, which is like okay, cool. But if we sat there and say niggas win the lottery, niggas won like okay, cool, you win $500 million. Now look at how you look at how you use that money. You sit there, you use it, you can buy a little. You could sit there. You could pay off your debts. You could pay off your debts. You can
Yeah.
go. You can go do this. But then you sit there and you be like, you know what? The friends I've made along the way and the connections I did. Okay, yo, bro, let's go on vacation. I'll pay for everybody to go. And it's not even about the money. It's the fact that you made memories with friends now. Like you got time to do this, you got time to do that. Like you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying. You might end up using it. You might end up using it all and going back to working a 9 to 5 later. But those memories will never fade because you had fun.
facts.
Like you know what I'm saying.
Life is about experience. Like,
You know what I'm saying. It grants you the better opportunity. Like if that's the, if for lack of a better word.
yeah, I think money can grant you so many things, like enjoyable experiences that you didn't have access to before. You know what I'm saying? Conditions that you didn't have access to before. Like, money can do a lot. And
It just you just can't buy what you can't just you can't but you can't buy you can't just buy your personal feelings though.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it does not work out, bro. Not at
yeah.
all.
And people have deeper needs, like deeper emotional needs, like emotional fulfillment from friendships or relationships. Money ain't gonna replace that. To be honest, it's not going to replace that. Those are deeper emotional needs that money cannot fix. And I think so many humans has those type of emotional needs, and money can't just fix that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say like with money, like, I mean, you can buy friends, but no friends gonna be fake in the end. They're not gonna be real. You know what I'm saying? Because the
Oh,
foundation
oh,
of those friendships are just based off opportunism,
oh,
like just money,
oh,
like status.
the red homies.
Wait, what you
Yeah,
say?
the renter homies.
Yeah, like even money can't even buy that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Money cannot buy emotional fulfillment from like friendships and all that companionship. Like, the foundation is based off material shit. Like, it's not real. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And people have to understand money is a social construct. Like, that shit is man, like, made the fuck up. It's not even real. So it's like, once you understand that and understand that your deeper emotional needs is much more real than money will ever be, then that's when you can have a path that has more clarity. You know what I'm saying? A path to happiness that has way more clarity, and you can be confident within that path instead of pursuing something that ultimately won't grant you what you need. And I hate the fucking, oh my god, the fucking hyper focus on wealth pisses me off. I hate it. But this is the system we live under, and I have to come to accept it. But it's holy fuck. It's fucking up so many people's mindsets when it comes to happiness, and then they end up being disappointed. It's like, yeah, money is
But
not the end all be all, man. Like, it's not.
yeah, abundance of money is not the end all be all, but the lack of will be the end of you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's the society we live in. So unless you sat there, say if you decide to say cut your citizenship and like want to go to somewhere else, like say like China or something like that, where like the like money doesn't really money kind of matters, but it doesn't fully matter to where like you can always get help. You can always have friends helping you do these things.
Yeah,
Or the case would be like you can always learn to get educated. You can always learn to do things like this. And like certain things are free. Like you know what I'm saying. So it's like you're wealthy, but in knowledge, not
yeah,
really with money. I mean, if you're wealthy in intellectual property, which is your brain, that's I think that's the wealth everybody should seek.
yeah.
That's me though.
I like, you can redefine wealth, and like it can be definitely be much more a viable way of like perceiving it than just seeing it as fucking something material or something.
Like
And
you
like,
feel
yeah,
me?
I wish more people understood how to define happiness and how you can attain it. Cause honestly, we desire so many things, but it's just like we have to understand that we have so much deeper needs than just money. Money is like so superficial, so surface level. Like, I know so many humans have much more base desires beyond just that. We just tend to ignore it, or we tend to just, like, you know what I'm saying, replace it with, like, you know what I'm saying, the pursuit of wealth and shit like that. And it's like, yeah. And like what it said with status too, that shit hit me because I'm like, damn. Because like, yeah, niggas be seeking status and shit, but people change like seasons, nigga. Like, Niggas' opinions be fluctuating crazy. Shit is always changing when it comes to status, and it's like, yeah, not everybody gonna perceive you the same. You do something, you do a certain action, you gonna have a bunch of people on your ass, and it's like, yeah,
Nah, that's the thing about status. And another thing about status is that you don't get as much privacy as a person who doesn't have that status.
yeah, you don't
Like
get a
for
peace of
example,
mind like that.
yeah, yeah. For example, like me and you are regular people. Like we sit there, we're in the house, we're playing video games, or whatever case may be. We're playing video games or watching videos, and whatever case may be. For me, there's
Yeah,
people who see what we do and whatever case may be. That's cool. They understand the vision, but then they go on about their life the next day. Like you know what I'm saying. But whereas a celebrity, like sit there and they drink something they don't agree with, they'll sit there and they make a whole news press about it.
yeah,
Like you bro, like nothing you do, like it's to the point you can't do nothing wrong in your life. The moment you do something wrong in your life, it's a whole inside scoop on the news.
that's what I'm
Like it's
saying.
like,
Like everything public, like can't no type of privacy.
like yourself, no type of privacy at all. Like
Yeah, that shit terrible. Status is like, I would not want status. Like, fuck that. I like laying low. To be honest, I like having a more. I just want to have a normal life. Status doesn't mean anything to me at all. Honestly,
mm-hmm.
like I could see the positive aspects of it, but like ultimately, it just doesn't do much for me, and won't do much for a lot of people because we know how society be. It should be volatile as fuck. So, I mean, yeah, it's fleeting, very fleeting. External
We'll talk.
validation very fleeting as well.
We'll talk.
Like you gotta seek that internal validation instead of external. Like promise you, because defining your happiness by external validation, ooh boy, you are cooked. You are straight cooked. That shit, boy, that shit volatile like fucking Bitcoin, nigga. That shit is cooked. That nah, that's crazy.
Unique that we stand out in some way. There's a part of us that craves individuality, the desire to express who we truly are and to be recognized for our unique qualities. Yet, at the same time, we fear standing out too much. We worry about being judged or misunderstood, and sometimes we prefer to blend in. We want to be seen as special, but not in a way that makes us feel isolated. This
Hmm.
creates a push and pull inside of us. On one hand, we want to assert our individuality, and on the other, we want to belong. The idea of being unique is deeply rooted in our sense of identity. We want to feel like we matter, that we are different from others in a way that is meaningful. It could be the way we dress, the music we listen to, or the opinions we hold. We seek to carve out a space for ourselves in the world, where we can shine in our own way. There is something powerful about standing out, about knowing that we have something to offer that no one else does. It's part of what drives creativity and personal growth. Finding our voice, expressing it, and feeling that it is valued. However, there is also a natural human instinct to want to fit in, to belong to a group, a community, or a society. It's a basic need. Belonging provides comfort, security, and acceptance. It allows us to connect with others, to share experiences, and to feel that we are part of something larger than ourselves. When we feel like we belong, we don't have to constantly prove ourselves or worry about whether we are accepted. We can relax knowing that we are part of the group. But the desire to belong can sometimes conflict with our desire to be unique. When we try to stand out, we risk drawing attention to ourselves in ways that may not be comfortable. Standing out often means going against the grain, doing things that others might not understand or appreciate. It could mean wearing clothes that are different from the norm or speaking out about ideas that challenge the status quo. But when we do this, we risk feeling alienated. Others might judge us or treat us as outsiders, and the fear of rejection can be overwhelming. In those moments, the desire to belong can outweigh the desire to be unique, leading us to suppress parts of ourselves in order to fit in.
Hmm.
This conflict
Hmm.
between
Hmm.
individuality and the need to belong is evident in many areas of life. It's not about being so different that we alienate others, but about being authentic in a way that allows us to attract people who value us for who we are. In relationships, too, we see this dynamic at play. We want to connect with others, to feel understood and accepted. But at the same time, we don't want to lose ourselves in the process. It's easy to feel like we need to change or hide parts of ourselves to fit into a relationship, whether it's a friendship, a romantic partnership, or a family dynamic. The fear of not belonging can make us suppress our true selves in order to meet others' expectations. Yet, the most fulfilling relationships are often those where both people can express their individuality while still feeling a deep sense of connection. It's a natural desire.
Mm, shit, man. I mean, yeah, I I can like relate to the whole clash between wanting to be authentic and then wanting to belong. Cause I mean, yeah, I mean, for like with this content creation shit, I don't want to like appeal to the crowd and do all these do the shit that everybody else doing, like as streamers, like reacting to like the same shit, like just reacting to like Drewski videos or videos where they test somebody in a relationship that if they gonna cheat or not. People be watching shit like that, and I'm like, bro, it's the same shit. Like it's the same shit everybody else does, and it's like I would have to do that in order to gain traction for my content, and it's like, nah, I just said fuck it, I'm not doing that because I wouldn't enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna sit there and like sacrifice my happiness and freedom just to, you know what I'm saying, just to look at my numbers go up. Like fuck all that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it just comes to a point where you have to find spaces where you can sit there and express yourself honestly and truly and still be accepted, still belonging, you know what I'm saying? Accepting the differences between you and other people, you know what I'm saying? And also, you know what I'm saying, just having that sense of belonging instead of just isolating yourself from everybody else and fearing being, you know what I'm saying, fearing being lonely because you're so different. Like,
Facts.
it's definitely a big clash that I went through before, but I honestly just don't give a fuck no more. Cause you also have to accept that not everybody gonna fuck with you. You have to also accept that as well. Like it's not about getting as many people to like you as possible. It's not even about that because it's gonna be definitely bound to be people who doesn't fuck with you because of your differences. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know the thing of like being unique. People, a lot of people will always. The thing about it, and this is probably an unpopular opinion, but a lot of people like someone to be unique. Like some
Mm.
people like most people like somebody to be unique because it's like, yo, bro, like you can learn from that person. But if you're sitting there trying to fit into their life, they'll sit there and push you away because it's like all you're doing is just really trying to fit in just to just to suck up to them. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
to be honest, you don't even have to. You know what I'm saying? You have your own mind. Like you can do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes you you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, like for like you for me, there's if you go to the bar and order soda because you don't smoke and you don't drink, they're not gonna penalize you for that, bro. They're gonna sit there and be like, oh, bro, you don't drink, bro. That's neat. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll
yeah,
be like, sorry. They'll be like, yeah, I'm like sorry, but I'm like you. Like I'm a drinker. I'm too far gone for that. And it'd be a good conversation, even though y'all live in two different worlds. Like you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It is what it is. Like you know what I'm saying? You can be unique, but don't try to sit there. But nah, I don't drink, but I don't mind drinking for just this one time. They're not dealing with that. No, because they're like you could it's like you could sit there. It's to the point where you saying you don't drink will not be valid anymore. You know
facts.
what I'm saying?
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
authenticity is oftentimes appreciated for sure.
yeah,
A lot of people have
no,
this false perception in their head that you're gonna get rejected for not doing this or that. Oh, you don't smoke weed? Get the fuck out of here! Like, nah, that's not. I mean, some people might act like that, but a lot of times they don't. They're like, oh, cool. You don't smoke, you don't do drugs and all like that. Because a lot of people acknowledge that drugs are bad, so they're not gonna try to pressure you into it, or at least not everybody gonna pressure you into it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
they're gonna sit there and they're gonna sit there and up and tell you like, yeah, bro, please don't, because you'll get addicted to something you
Yeah,
don't want to.
yeah.
And
They
for me,
like they're aware that it's like terrible to do, but
yeah, but they will never. It's not like they'll stop. Like
yeah,
they won't stop, but they'll make sure you don't do it.
yeah,
See, that's what makes it. That's what I'm saying. That's what makes it great because they'll sit there and they want you to keep your authenticity while they stick with theirs. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You feel me? You don't have to. You feel me? You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to fit in to make friends.
Facts. Like
So,
a
so
lot of people will appreciate your authenticity. You know what I'm saying? Your true self. You know what I'm saying? Because people can definitely read people who like act fake and shit. Like a lot of people
yeah,
know how people be trying to fit in and shit. Like they can notice that shit. Like
that that and there's already too many pretenders in the world anyway. You might as well just. You have no choice but to be yourself at this point.
yeah.
Like,
I see that shit happen too many times when it comes to like somebody pursuing a girl or something. Like I know sometimes niggas be joking, but it's like a lot of niggas like be acting like you know what I'm saying. They be acting like different people, bro. They be acting all like like cocky, you know what I'm saying. And then they go with the belief like, oh, just fake it till you make it. Like, nah, nigga, just be yourself, bro.
yeah, but don't get me wrong. At the same time, let me tell you something. If if you got a fake confidence, by all means do it.
I don't know, man.
I,
That's
I, I ain't saying to listen. I ain't saying to lie about your life. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying I ain't saying to lie about your life. You can keep your life at this. You can sit there and be like, yeah, I don't smoke, I don't drink. I do probably sit there and go play video games, whatever case may be. But it's like sometimes, don't get me wrong. Some people are introverts. For me, so
yeah,
it sucks. People can't really have a conversation, or they're scared to have a conversation because sometimes they'll be afraid of saying the wrong thing, or they're afraid they might be awkward. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So if you sit there and you just have a, if you sit there and you try to release a, you try to sit there and pretend to be confident for like 5 minutes, you at least get their you at least get their attention. You know what I'm saying? You at least get their attention and you have a conversation. So then now it feels natural to talk to them. It's not even, and now your confidence isn't really a shell anymore because now you don't really need it because now you already got the person to have a conversation with you at least, and you
uh,
get to be yourself. You know what I'm saying? You get to be yourself, and you get to tell them like how you actually are as a person. Like, yo, listen, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I kind of have I have a thing where like I be afraid of saying the wrong thing or whatever case may be, and they tell you, yo, like, it's okay. Like, sometimes like it's better you understand that. It's better you sit there and try to watch what you're saying rather than just carelessly saying things and offend somebody. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, it took, like, I could say can you can you can fake confidence for a little while. I ain't saying all the time. I ain't saying all the time, yo, like, I'm this, I do that, I make this much money, I'm this and I do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying a flex. I'm saying as far as be confident in who you are as a person.
yeah. It's just the problem is a lot of people misinterpret self confidence, so they gonna try to like be like that, like oh I'm gonna flex this, I'm gonna be that, like yeah I'm that guy, yeah,
So, no, 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 sir. Like,
yeah. That's not what it's really about. Like
most people who are the most confident people, to be honest, is somebody who could share an embarrassing part about themselves and can laugh about it.
yeah,
That's a fact.
and
Like,
also just not relying on external validation in general, and not no, not you know what I'm saying having a desire to like flex what they got or anything like that. They just live their life how they want to live. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck about how people think about them.
facts. You know what I'm saying? Is that they be like, "Oh, damn, really? That's crazy, bro." Like, they really, you know what?
And that's what I'm
That's why.
saying. Like people go in with the expectation when it comes to pursuing girls, like they will lie about shit. Like when you fake it till you make it, you lying about shit that you don't got. They have a whole false perception of what self confidence is because they gonna sit there and be like, oh yeah, this and that, and like yeah, I be doing that shit. Like yeah, I be you know what I'm saying I'm like that for real. They be trying to be
When
nonchalant and shit, and it's like yeah, it's not. It's fake
and
as hell, and yeah, it'll work, but in the short term it'll probably work, but in long term it's not. You can't keep that up.
and then you lying until you fall in love. Like,
Like you might as well become what you want to become. It has to be real. You know what I'm saying? Because in the end, it'll benefit your whole life if you try to become that said thing, that thing that you want to be confident about. If you try to become it, or you just want to be confident in general, if you try to make it real, then it'll benefit you like for the long term of your life. You don't have to fake anything. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
And that's like way better. That's a way better thing to pursue than to just fake it till you make it, because you're gonna fall apart eventually. It's not gonna last long. It's a facade. And
That's a
you
fact.
also have a false perception of what confidence is in general. Like
You feel me? Like I just yeah, I
that's why I
truly
advocate for people to just build their confidence up. Don't try to like fake that shit, bro. Because a lot of people can
I,
notice that shit, and even then, it's like it's gonna fall apart.
like don't get, like bro, like for example, I would tell like for example, like I was telling like for example when I used to be in Idaho, like I would tell people like, yo bro, listen, like don't get me wrong, like I could talk to somebody authentically regular, like you know what I'm saying, if I sit there, but that only depends on the mutual situation that we're in. Like for example, if we're working with each other, yeah, I could sit there and talk to you, have a regular conversation with you and all that. But then when I'm partying with you or whatever the case may be, I will feel the awkwardness we have. So then it's like if it's awkward, I'm not gonna try to interact with you outside of work because
Yeah,
it's because I feel like you talk to me more awkward when it's not at work.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's like that's why it's like okay, if I met you at said party, then cool. I could talk to you like that. I could talk to you how I talk to you because we met at this place. But if I met you through work and then I meet you at the party, then it's like it's not the same because now we usually only really have conversations about work, so we never really have a conversation about how we are as people.
yeah. It's like very surface level.
You feel me? So it's like, yeah, it sucks. So you know what I'm saying? But that's how it is. Sometimes you feel the awkwardness when you can't talk to somebody about other than themselves. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's just that's a fun that is a fun fact about me. Like you know what I'm saying? I'll sit there, I'll dance, go have fun and all that. But then in the end, like I don't really be sitting there like trying to have conversation, trying to talk to people. Where I don't got time for that. I just be there to party and go. Like
I feel it.
however that works.
Yeah, I'm about to say for like for me, I mean shit, I can shit. I'm like I can yap, but it's just like yeah, I don't usually like go out of my way to conversate with somebody unless I know them. Like they from work. I mean, if it's like outside of work, I'll probably try it. Like if I know them, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll try to talk to them, try to make our connection deeper than it is. Instead of talking about the same shit, we can like talk about this or that, like what's happening right at this moment. Like, oh, this party is cool, or like I'll talk about like, oh, what like. You know what I'm saying? We'll probably start a conversation about certain shit or like a scary topics or something. That's what I'm saying. Like it just comes natural to me. Like if I see somebody I know, I might spark up a conversation about oh shit this food hitting or something like that or like oh you know what I'm saying like I like oh it's about to be Christmas or some shit like I don't know like I'll talk about something random to be honest and like I find it
Yeah,
easy to do like even despite our relationship or connection being surface level it's just like I can try to make it deeper if I want to be like if I want to make it deeper than it is and a lot of people have that mindset where it's like they don't hang out with their work friends or whatever outside of work and I get that for sure they keep it strictly work and I get it I guess but it's just like it don't make much sense to me because it's like I mean you can I mean if you're not interested in a person I mean that's calm I guess but it's like damn if they cool people I mean shit you can try to like at least try to hang out with them like if they ask that's kind of an opportunity to like you know what I'm saying deepen your connection and discover more about that said person because you never know they could be actually like they could be cool as hell like they could be what they could be you know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying they could have similar interests and shit like you never know unless you like try to pursue that deeper connection with them but if you don't you ain't never gonna know you know what I'm saying
Fact.
you just gonna be staying on the other side of the fence. You ain't gonna know what they world look like. So
Fact.
that curiosity would have to be a thing that people have to like, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
guess like uh pursue, I guess. But a lot of people just don't have that curiosity. A lot of people are very individualistic, so I get it. But yeah,
That's a fact.
but yeah,
Um,
I just like interacting with folks. I like discovering people with similar interests. I like you know what I'm saying. I like treading those waters. It's interesting to me. I'm very curious.
that's facts.
Well, goddamn. Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, that was damn.
to
Hold on
feel
one
calm,
second.
settled, and at ease with ourselves and the world around us. Peace brings a sense of security and well-being, a break from the
Wait, hold on.
chaos.
I need to get something to drink. I ain't gonna lie.
Facts. I'll be back.
Yeah, hold on. Man, this video got us talking for real, bro. I definitely want to do more content like this and not just be playing games. This is very insightful, to be honest. Like, it got us talking for real, like actual intellectual conversations. That's what I like to see for real. That's what I like to see. A lot of people are so anti-intellectual nowadays, and I feel like there's not a there's not intellectualism is very much rejected nowadays compared to anti-intellectualism. A lot of people like to dabble in stupid shit 24/7, and it's like, wow, I just don't think it's good for your brain to like be doing all that shit. Like, you're not feeding your brain the productivity that it needs, like reading, you know what I'm saying, having conversations that challenges your thinking, your thinking processes and shit like that. Not not being involved in critical thinking, you know what I'm saying, shit like that is just like people dabble into stupid shit 24/7, and it's like, bro, I don't want to be in that, bro. Like, where is the intellectualism at? Like, where can we have intellectual convos and niggas knowing what they talking about and niggas like learning throughout the discussion? And it's like, bro, you can learn so much from like these intellectual discussions and topics, but a lot of people just be dabbling in the most dumbest shit possible, and it does nothing for them except give them temporary dopamine. Like, I promise you, it's the ooh, I hate that shit. I hate anti intellectualism so fucking much. I really do. And it's so popular to the point where it's like, damn, you can't escape from it. And I dabble in it sometimes. Like, well, I might act goofy and shit, but it's just like, bro, like a lot of times I like approaching things from an intellectual perspective instead of like generalizing, making doing illogical shit. I don't like doing all that. I don't like approaching things from a illogical perspective or like an anti-intellectual perspective, because it's very unproductive and it's not stimulating enough for me to like even engage in. You know what I'm saying? And it's much more productive and beneficial to engage in something intellectual than anti-intellectual. And once you understand that and accept it, I think that's when you understand why anti-intellectualism is so fucking useless. Like, it'll give you temporary dopamine maybe, like, but it's that's the surface level. It doesn't like do anything good for you at all. Like, I mean, I promise you it doesn't. Like, it's good to turn your brain off sometimes, but it's just like, in the end, most times it's not benefiting you at all. I promise you it's not. In fact, it's just going to make you worse when it comes to critical thinking, problem solving. It's just going to make those type of skills that you have within your brain even worse. Those mental skills deteriorate over time the more you engage in anti-intellectualism. That's why I hate that shit. Like, over time, it will really deteriorate those mental skills that you used to have before. Literally, it's just bad for you in general. It's a net negative, if anything, more bad than good.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yo, alright, but let me rewind this a little bit. Oh shit.
That support and accept us. We all long for peace. It's a natural desire to feel calm, settled, and at ease with ourselves and the world around us. Peace brings a sense of security and well-being, a break from the chaos that often surrounds us. Whether it's the quiet of a morning with no distractions or the serenity of being with loved ones in a peaceful setting, peace is something we actively seek. Yet, at the same time, we are often drawn to conflict. We seem to have a complex relationship with drama, whether it's in our own lives or in the world around us. We crave harmony, but we are also wired to engage in struggle, both internally and externally. On one hand, peace is something that provides clarity and stability. When we experience peace, our minds can rest. We can think clearly, make decisions without pressure, and enjoy the present moment. This sense of peace often feels like the goal we are all trying to reach. It's why many people seek it in their personal lives, whether through quiet time, meditation, or simply trying to eliminate distractions. In the world, we look for peace through diplomacy, cooperation, and compromise. We imagine a world where there is no war, No hate, no conflict. The idea of global peace is something that has been pursued by many throughout history, and on a personal level, we all desire a life free from constant struggle. However, even as we seek peace, we often find ourselves drawn to conflict. It's almost as if conflict and drama are a part of our nature. Whether it's arguing with a friend, engaging in a difficult conversation with a loved one, or following the latest political turmoil in the news, we seem to be wired for conflict. There is something compelling about drama, something that grabs our attention and pulls us in. It's not that we want to create chaos, but there is an undeniable attraction to the tension and excitement that conflict can bring. Part of this draw to conflict is rooted in human nature. Conflict challenges us, forces us to confront difficult emotions, ideas, and situations. It pushes us out of our comfort zones and forces us to think and act in ways we might not otherwise. The struggle can be a source of growth, forcing us to reflect on our values, beliefs, and boundaries. We all have moments when we feel conflicted within ourselves, torn between different desires, values, or fears. We might want to stay calm, but feel our emotions rising in a stressful situation. We might want to avoid confrontation, but find ourselves drawn to express our anger or frustration. This internal drama can be exhausting, as we struggle to reconcile our desire for peace with the impulses that push us toward conflict. The pull between the two can create confusion, leaving us uncertain of what we truly want. Take a moment to think about times in your life when you found yourself in an argument, even when you knew that walking away or staying calm would have been better. It might be with a partner, a friend, or even a stranger. Despite knowing that peace would bring a resolution, there's something about conflict that feels necessary in those moments. It's almost as if the confrontation is needed to validate our emotions or to make ourselves heard. We often don't want to back down because doing so would mean suppressing our feelings, and that can feel like a loss. The drama, as uncomfortable as it may be, sometimes feels like a way to express ourselves and stand our ground. Ultimately, the desire for peace and the pull of conflict are both integral parts of our human experience. They are not opposing forces, but two sides of the same coin. Conflict drives us to grow, challenge ourselves, and confront the complexities of life, while peace offers a refuge from the chaos, a place of rest and clarity. It's learning how to navigate between the two. There are times when conflict is necessary, and times when peace is the better choice. Both are part of our nature, and both have their place in our lives. Learning to recognize when to seek peace and when to engage with conflict is a skill that helps us find balance in the midst of the drama and calm of life. Death is something we all fear.
What's up? Hold up, rewind that back.
That nigga, hold on, bro.
Back 20 seconds. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Both are part of our nature, and both have their place in our lives. Learning to recognize when to seek peace and when to engage with conflict is a skill that helps us find balance in the midst of the drama and calm of life. Death is something we all fear.
Mm.
I, like, bro, cause I be thinking about like situations where I just be like trying not to seek conflict with niggas or people, and like oftentimes I probably ignore the positive side of the conflict, or where I can grow from that conflict or grow with that person from that conflict, and where our relationship can evolve. I often think about that because I do have that habit to disengage from conflicts, but at the same time I have to understand the opportunity to grow from that conflict, and that's what I oftentimes ignore, that opportunity to grow from it. And conflict is a natural part of life where it's inevitable, to be
I'm,
honest.
I'm, I'm gonna keep it tall. I could provide you an example of when like conflict happened and then we grew from it. Like for example, like goddamn, I'll say about 4 years ago, like 3 4 years ago, for
Yeah.
like niggas sat there. For me, we ain't at this point. Like there was time like we had conflicts with C4. Like we ain't like the dude at all. Like sometimes we ain't like how we ain't like his ideals sometimes, and we sometimes just and if he had to kick niggas from the server or we left. He
Hmm.
was like, yo, I'm not dealing with this no more. I can go find something better. You feel me?
Yeah.
But then now look at us. Like you feel me? We're creating shit. We're making sure like we're creating shit. We're being innovative with things. We're working with each other. We're talking to each other. Like
Yeah.
you know, what I'm saying? We had conflict moments. Like we argued with each other and we sat there and we gone through stuff or whatever case may be. But there's always and then we always challenge people to do better.
Yeah.
Like you feel me? Like for example, like you sat there like for example, because you about to move tomorrow, yes sir. So it's like,
Hmm.
but remember, just remember, this was like, mind you, this was like literally a month ago. You would not think of this a month ago. It's like, bro, how do you feel just leaving and just going somewhere? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's like, bro, like you know what I'm saying? Like forget everything. Just sit there, challenge yourself to just leave and go to a whole different environment and see if you can find yourself somewhere else. Like you see me?
Yeah.
That's another conflict in itself too. Like would you want to would you like to sit there and take would you like to sit there and take your time? Would you like to sit there and be like, nah, I'll try to find something within the confines of what you already have? Or you're gonna sit there and go somewhere completely different and find something new. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something you might like, something you may avenue you have yet to explore. You know,
Yeah.
it's so you know conflict is the thing. The thing about conflict, the reason why like we seek conflict most of the time rather than peace is because drama, drama, and all types, some types of negativity puts has dopamine puts dopamine to our brain.
Yeah. It
You know
can
what I'm saying?
oftentimes be
Yeah.
exciting for people to
You feel
engage
me?
in that.
Yeah. You feel me? It's like so that's why like if somebody was to talk about something positive, it doesn't rattle you as much as when someone has something negative to talk about.
Yeah.
Like it's a like a thing. Like you know what I'm saying? Because if someone was to talk good things about themselves, we look at it as oh he's bragging, or he's a narcissist, or he's this and he's that. Whereas if there was something negative that was going on, whatever case may be, we either A trying to fix it to make ourselves feel better,
Hmm.
or B we want to sit there and talk about it with somebody else. Like, yo, bro, this dude got beat up in the middle of the street, or whatever case may be. Like, and it's like that's exciting.
Yeah.
Whereas whereas you sat there and made it like, oh yeah, this dude was about to get beat up, but I stopped it, and then we went home. They don't want to hear that. They
Yeah.
want to hear they want to hear the fact that the dude was getting beat up until the cops came. Like,
Yeah. Conflicts can be exciting. They can be challenging. It's very high stakes. It's intense. It's an intensity when it comes to conflicts that
but you,
people either love or like you know what I'm saying are attracted to.
yeah, and you can, but the thing about conflict that you can pick your own conflicts.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Another thing in itself. But for example, if you went to the gym and be like, somebody told you you can't lift 160, and you just lift that shit, and you like, they feel like, yo, damn, hold up.
Yeah. Nigga accepted a challenge. Like
Yeah, like you feel me? I'm like, yo, boy, challenge me, bro. So I'm like, I bet, run it, or you'll never get past 30 push-ups. I run it. Say I won't.
yeah.
You feel me?
Like shit
Like,
like that can help you grow, bro. Whether it's
yeah.
physical, mentally, like
Or they be like, oh, I bet you can't save this. I bet you can't do that. I say that. Got you right now.
like conflicts are inevitable. I mean, you have a choice to like engage in it or not, but like you gonna have to engage in some conflicts in some parts of your life, and in the end, it'll help you grow. You know what I'm saying? With that person that you got in a conflict with. You know what I'm saying? And I
Fact,
feel like
fact.
people shouldn't like pursue peace too much because that's what I'm saying. You disengage from things that are necessary to grow from.
And also I tell people like, for example, I ain't saying no. Don't get me wrong, right? If you pursue peace,
Yeah,
I'm not.
peace is
You
great.
you, you, you can sit there and pursue peace externally, but try to have internal conflict a little bit. Like say what if I could do this and what if I can do that? Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Internal. No, matter of fact, I'm lying. I'm rephrasing it wrong. You can seek internal peace, and you can sit there and try to deal with external conflict. Because a person with internal peace can really find themselves through that conflict.
Yeah, they don't have
You
to
know what I'm
get
saying?
all like, you know what I'm saying. They're not gonna stress themselves out too much during that
Yeah,
conflict. No high emotions like that.
yeah, but they'll always take up the challenge. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Always. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay. You can find if you can find the balance in between it. That's it. You don't have to be 100% peace, and you don't have to be 100% conflict. You can you can balance it however you like.
yeah.
You know.
I feel like I about to say I feel like because that's what me like. I like try to balance it because I'm not too much of a peaceful or like, you know what I'm saying, conflict person. I always try to like find a middle ground within those two concepts. Like, yeah, conflicts are necessary. Peace is also necessary in order to like be stable mentally. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Find a refuge from the chaos. You know what I'm saying? Find a comfortable peace of mind, like comfortable place to be in. Something stable. Conflicts can oftentimes be unstable, but
Yeah.
like I said before, you come out the other side of that conflict and you grow from it. You know what I'm saying? But you just that's what I'm saying. Like the video said, you just got to find a balance between the two. You know, I say like you find if you try to seek peace so much or external peace too much, it's like yeah, my nigga, you're not gonna grow. You try to seek external conflict so much, then like yeah, you're gonna get fucked up. But yeah, I mean,
For me,
like yeah, it is what it is. Consequences to both pursue either too much is like yeah. But let me see. What's the segment on this one though? What's
Is the
fear, death,
ultimate
y'all on this
unknown, a
time?
finality that none of us can avoid. It is natural to fear the end of life, to worry about what comes after, or whether we will leave a lasting impact. The thought of death often prompts us to reflect on our lives, sometimes pushing us to consider what truly matters. We know deep down that life is short, that our time here is limited. And yet, despite this awareness, many of us still waste time. We procrastinate, get caught up in trivial matters, and put off the things that really matter. Knowing that our time is finite doesn't always inspire us to live more fully or with greater purpose. The fear of death often causes us to avoid thinking about it. We push it to the back of our minds, as if ignoring it will somehow make it less real. But in doing so, we also avoid fully engaging with life. The awareness of our mortality should, in theory, encourage us to make the most of each day. We should strive to live with more intention, to cherish our moments, and to focus on what truly brings us joy and fulfillment. Yet, instead of using the knowledge of life's brevity as a motivator, we often get stuck in routines that feel safe but unfulfilling. We let the days slip by without truly living in the moment. We are constantly distracted by the demands of daily life. The pressure to work, pay bills, meet expectations, and take care of responsibilities often takes up all of our energy. When we focus on these things, it can be easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Time becomes a blur, and before we know it, days, months, and years pass without us having taken the time to truly appreciate them. It's like we're running on autopilot, getting through the motions without ever asking ourselves if we are living in a way that aligns with our deepest values and desires. Consider how many of us spend our time worrying about things that ultimately don't matter. We stress over small setbacks, obsess over things that are out of our control, or get caught in drama and distractions. We waste time on social media or watching endless entertainment, when what we really long for is connection, purpose, or adventure. We know that these distractions don't add value to our lives, but we turn to them because they offer temporary relief from the uncomfortable truth of mortality. The fear of death often makes us seek out ways to avoid facing the deeper questions about how we want to live and what kind of legacy we want to leave behind. Even when we know that life is short, we often put off the things that could bring us the most fulfillment. We wait for the right time to pursue our dreams or to have meaningful conversations with loved ones. We tell ourselves that we will travel when we have more money, that we will spend more time with family once we're less busy, or that we will start working on our passions once we retire. But the truth is, the right time often never comes. We keep postponing living fully,
Hmm.
assuming that there will be plenty of time left. But every
Hmm.
moment that we waste, we are one step closer to running out of time. And when that time comes, we may look back and realize that we didn't make the most of it. Fear of death is part of being human. It's natural to want to hold on to life to avoid thinking about the end. But it can also be a motivator if we let it be. Living fully doesn't necessarily mean doing something dramatic or extreme. It doesn't mean quitting your job and traveling the world, or constantly seeking new thrills. For some, living fully means nurturing relationships, spending time with people they care about, or making a positive impact in their community. For others, it might mean pursuing a creative passion or simply taking the time to enjoy the present moment. The key is to recognize what truly brings us joy and fulfillment and to prioritize those things over the distractions and demands that can so easily take over our lives. Want love.
Hmm.
Fact.
Bro. Oh
Facts.
my god, I can't handle all of this fucking cooking right now. The cooking a generational meal right now. We are feasting.
Listen, man. It's a that's why a lot of people say like like time is what we use the most. Time is what we want most, but use the worst.
Facts. Like, it hit me so hard when he said people be like, I'll hang with my family when I get the time, when I become less busy, or like I'll do this, I'll pursue my passion when I retire, or like shit like that. And it's like there never is a right time. You'll never get that right time to do that because like we live in a workaholic type of society. Like we gonna work long ass hours. Like nigga, the higher the ladder like we climb and shit like that, we try to grind, you know what I'm saying, grind to the position we want to be at, nigga, you gonna have less and less time, nigga. Like over time, you just gonna have less and less time because you're so much more busy. You're making more money, but you're less, way less. You're still more busy than you ever been. You know what I'm saying? The most free time you're gonna have is like when you retire, of course. But them people, them loved ones, you have family and shit, they probably gonna be gone. But that's what I'm saying. Like by the time you retire, so it's just like there never is a right time to like hang out with them, or you know what I'm saying, you have to make time for them. You know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to make time for them. Like on your off days you're gonna have to hang with them and shit like that, or like you're gonna have to make time for your passions. You know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to make spare time for your passions no matter what. You can't just sit there and wait for the right time. Like you have to make time for that shit, bro. There never is a right time. You're just gonna get even more and more busy over time, dude. Like we live under fucking capitalism. Like nigga, we're not gonna have a work life balance magically. Like nigga, you're gonna get busy, more and more busy, busy, busy. The more work you get, busy, busy, busy. Like
You're gonna get either get you're gonna get busy. You're gonna get busy. You're gonna also get like um just get busy. You're gonna get tired. You're gonna want to sit there and be like, nah, I don't want to do this now because like nah, like we get it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like like we have it. We have it in this. We have it like right now. For example, like you know how much times you know how much times niggas say they're gonna be in a call, bro, or they'll be in a call tomorrow. We'll go this time. We'll be in that time. But we
yeah,
know man's work, bro. You got work. You got work. You got school. And then you go to the gym. Like you got all these things and you're balancing all these things. You do not got time to go sit there and go spend a minute or two in the car. You just can't. Like you come home, you sleep. Like it's over for that.
facts.
Like you feel me?
It never is a perfect time to do this or that, my nigga. You gonna have to make the time yourself. You got to make something shake. You know what I'm saying? That's just life.
Like I mean, it's either you're gonna have to reduce the hours of what you're doing right now, or you're just gonna have to just not just leave it alone, or just put it off until you have the time. And by the
Yeah,
time you and by the time you actually have the time, shit will probably be too late for you. But
facts.
you know that all depends. You know what I'm saying? As
Yeah,
long as as long as you're making time for whatever you want to do, you're gonna make time for what you want and need to do.
yeah,
There was no there was no time limit for that. So
yeah. I feel like people just need to be more intentional with how they want to move and like have to understand that you're distracted. You're gonna be distracted by work and like shit that you need to do, buying groceries and you know what I'm saying. Like you're gonna be distracted by that, but you also have to learn to detach yourself from these distractions. You have to know what you want to do truly in life, and not just about what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? You can find that you can like.
Detaching from getting groceries is crazy.
No, I'm not saying like. I'm
nah,
not saying
nah,
like. I'm
nah,
not
I'm
trying to
playing.
frame it like yeah, like
I know what you mean.
you gotta like focus. You have to be aware of what you want to do in life, and like you have to make time for it and be intentional with it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta move forward. You know what I'm saying? Because you just sitting there being distracted by all these needs that you what you need to do. Time is gonna fly the fuck by, and you be like, "Damn, I'm 30 years old. I didn't even get to do this or that." Like, yeah, nigga, you've been distracted.
Yeah.
And it's
No, well,
easier said than done for sure. I get it. Easier said than done because niggas are
shit,
workaholics. Like,
no, yeah, no lie, do sometimes be easier said than done because it's like because you know what it is like at the same time it's like you'll get to a certain age and then you understand like you're responsible for what you do. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Responsible for what you do. So then you have to sit there and like get shit done. And then you trying to get shit done, you sit there and be like, nah, I don't want to allocate my resources and time into this right now. Or whatever case may be. Mind you, this could be beneficial to you later. But
yeah.
you're not thinking about that later. You're thinking about what's beneficial to you now. And it's like, shit,
Hmm.
that sucks.
Facts.
You feel me? But
Uh,
we'll
uh,
get there.
yeah, all I can say is that you just have to do the best you can, bro. Like do the best you can in allocating time towards your loved ones. Do the best you can in trying to allocate time towards your passion, whatever your passion is. You know what I'm saying? Do the best you can, man. Cause it's not easy for everyone to just, you know what I'm saying, sit there and like find time for what they want to actually do in life. All I can say is just don't get too distracted by the grind. You know what I'm saying? Don't get too distracted by that. You know what I'm saying? Find time for like the shit that you want to actually do in life. Find time for that. Do the best you can. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, find time, man. Find some time, man. Like do the best you can with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but most to be honest, is and then another thing is that a lot of we we actually sometimes do be having time, but we just decide to be like, you know what, I don't, you know what, I really now I don't have time. I'm gonna go to bed. Like,
Yeah,
bro,
that's what I'm saying. We have off days, like
bro, we have time. You just don't want to. I do get it that sometimes. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes your body doesn't allow you to make that time when you're tired.
yeah,
And I do get that, but then you have to like it's like sometimes you do have to force yourself to like go do it, and it's like I'm not saying to do it all the time because you can actually some people actually be overworked and overtired and be very tired to a point where they either crashing and they have to be in like sometimes they be in like they don't be in a hospital for too long. They be there for like a day, but that's because they overworked or whatever case may be, and they could have damn near get a heart attack from overworking.
yeah.
And it's like you really gotta you gotta really balance your time on things.
Facts.
You know,
Like I know it's like damn near impossible to find a perfect balance between work and in your life, but it's like you just gotta do the best you can. To be honest, like it is what it is. Just don't sit there and not do anything about your actual life. Don't sit there and just be like, oh, I'll just wait for the right time to do this. And nah, nigga, you need to
no,
find some time now, because I promise you,
no,
life is short.
no, get your ass up and get the fucking
Yeah, like your life can end at any minute, nigga. Like you need to make the most of your day. Make the most of your day to day life. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to do what you can, bro. Like niggas gotta
um,
realize you working so many hours, putting in so many hours at work. Life will pass you by so fast once you not like paying attention to like the time. You know what I'm saying? The timeline and shit like that. Life will pass you by. Like I promise you, so many people say time flies by. It does. When you're sitting there distracted by so many of these priorities, yeah, it does. It be like that. And at that point, you just gotta sit there and detach yourself from that shit and just be like, oh yeah, I need to do this and that. I gotta make time for this and that shit that I actually love doing.
I mean, you know what I mean? So yeah,
It's difficult, but it's doable.
but, yeah, they don't. It's simple. It's not easy.
Yeah, and just you just and then once you like when and if you don't do that, you gonna look back in your life like damn, like I didn't even get the time to do what I wanted to do. Like damn, my mom passed away. Damn, my dad passed away. I didn't even spend that much time with them. Like yeah,
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like live a and like in conclusion, just live a life you won't regret. Like what I'm saying.
facts.
You feel me? You feel me? If you do you do what you must, by all means. You know, as long as you feel that you've done the best you could.
Yeah, and like at least you tried.
Yeah,
Like damn, that shit sad. I think about it. Damn.
well, it's the thing. But hey, it sucks. Time is what we want most, but use the worst. I feel like it happens.
Shit, that shit crazy. It's too many distractions nowadays, man. Not even just work, but just like pointless shit like social media, like the video spoke on. Like none of that shit matters for real compared to what we actually have in our life that we appreciate.
Oh man,
Like none of this fucking, you know what I'm saying, entertainment matters. Like not that much to compare to like, man, that shit crazy.
It's one of the most basic human desires to connect with others, to feel seen, understood, and cared for. Love brings comfort and meaning. It makes life richer and more fulfilling. Yet, despite this deep yearning for connection, many of us find ourselves sabotaging the very relationships we desire. We push people away, often without fully understanding why. The fear of getting hurt is powerful, and it can lead us to take actions that create the distance we fear most. It's as if we're caught in a paradox. We want love, but we also fear the vulnerability it requires, so we push it away before it can get too close. The fear of being hurt is at the core of many of these self-sabotaging behaviors. Love requires us to open up, to be vulnerable, to show parts of ourselves that we often keep hidden. It means allowing someone else to see us at our most raw, without the walls we usually put up. This can be terrifying. What if the person we care about rejects us? What if we give too much of ourselves and get hurt in return? These fears can make us cautious, and sometimes that caution turns into actions that create distance or even cause the end of a relationship. Think about a relationship where you felt deeply invested. Maybe it was a romantic relationship, a close friendship, or even a bond with a family member. There was a point when you began to feel the pull of attachment, when you allowed yourself to care deeply. But then something triggered the fear. Could have been a small action or something that wasn't even a big deal at first. Perhaps it was a comment that felt like a slight, or maybe it was the fear of being left behind or abandoned. Whatever it was, it set off a chain of thoughts that led to pushing the other person away. You started to hold back, to pull away emotionally, to put up walls. The connection that once felt so natural now became strained, and in the end, you may have found yourself walking away, even though you didn't really want to. This pattern of self-sabotage is common in many relationships. We often fear that by giving too much, we will lose ourselves or be hurt. So we hold back emotionally, mentally, or even physically. We might push our partner away or avoid getting too close. We might create distance without even realizing it, saying things that make the other person feel unwelcome or rejecting them when they try to get closer. The fear of being vulnerable, of being hurt, makes us do the very thing that pushes love and connection out of our lives. It's not just romantic relationships where we sabotage ourselves. It happens in friendships, too. We might avoid getting too close to a friend, holding back from being fully open and honest. There is also the fear of losing ourselves in a relationship. We worry that if we give too much, we will forget who we are or become too dependent on the other person. The fear of losing our independence or becoming vulnerable to manipulation can make us pull back emotionally, even when we deeply care for the other person. We might create distance to protect ourselves from losing our sense of identity, but in the process, we lose the connection that makes love meaningful. The irony is that the very things we fear, being hurt, losing ourselves, or becoming dependent, are often the things that make relationships stronger when faced with honesty and trust. Vulnerability, while it does carry the risk of pain, also creates the space for deeper emotional intimacy and connection. Without vulnerability, love can feel shallow, transactional, or distant, but vulnerability requires trust, and trust is built over time. When we let down our guard and allow ourselves to be truly seen, we give the other person the chance to do the same. Be understood.
Mm,
I like what he said towards the end. Embrace that
mm,
fear. Just don't let it overwhelm you. You have to overcome it.
facts.
It's a sign for growth. You know what I'm saying? A sign for development within a
I mean,
relationship. Like
facts.
a lot of people need to realize there's always a risk to like being vulnerable. There's always a risk. Cause you risk the, you know what I'm saying, you make a risk of being misunderstood, rejected, shit like that. It can happen for sure. It's possible, definitely possible.
Definitely possible.
But that's why you have to build that trust within yourself and with that other person. And you just have to trust the process, you know what I'm saying? Itself, just trust the process of being vulnerable and actually growing from that vulnerability within a relationship. You have to trust all of those three things, you know what I'm saying? In
True
order to
fact.
move forward with that person.
I completely, I accept it and I agree with that 100%. I don't even have no, I don't have no other side commentary for that. They pretty much just said everything, to be honest.
Yeah, facts.
Like, I don't even need to add any other commentary. Like they
Yeah,
said, they
because it,
said,
it, it would basically, yeah, it would basically similar to the first segment, but like, yeah,
yeah, facts.
basically the same shit, but like, yeah.
It's a deeply human desire to feel that others truly know us, that they can see beyond our words and actions to the core of who we are. We want our thoughts, feelings, and intentions to be recognized, not just by those we love, but by the people around us in general. But too often, we find ourselves frustrated when others don't understand us, even though we rarely take the time to express ourselves clearly. We hope that others will just get us without us having to explain everything in detail, without having to lay out our inner world step by step. This unspoken expectation can create misunderstandings, leaving us feeling isolated and misunderstood, when in reality, we may be the ones withholding the clarity others need to truly understand us. There's something deeply comforting about the idea of being fully understood. It's like a silent connection that transcends the need for words. We hope that the people in our lives will just pick up on our emotions, our needs, and our thoughts without us needing to explain everything. This might come from a desire to be seen without the burden of constantly explaining ourselves. We don't want to have to dissect every feeling or motivation for others to get it. In relationships, we might think, if you love me, you should know how I feel. Or if you really understand me,
Bro,
you should know what I need without me having to say it.
oh my
But the
god,
truth is,
bro. Let me pause it real quick, cause too many people be, nah, I'm, bro, too many women be doing that shit, bro. It's like
Some,
if he loved you, he would have did it or shit. They said something like that.
yeah, for a fact. But then it's like, bro, like on one hand, that depends on how long you've been with this person, or
Yeah,
cause, cause sometimes I do get, sometimes I do get it in a sense of, but they don't tell you that. Like, if you love me, you should be able to say. But sometimes they'll tell you like some things they're like offended by, or some things they don't like, whatever case may be, from the
yeah,
beginning. Like, you know what I'm saying? But then sometimes you would forget and then you end up doing that thing that pisses them off. And then it's like, you should already have known that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they told you though.
yeah,
But you just simply forgot. You know what I'm saying? But if you didn't know anything from the beginning, it sucks. This is not even that's not even in terms of relationship. That's just period. For example, like
yeah,
you could sit there and say like, "Oh man," somebody could say like, "Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. The reason why like I say like I hate Taylor Swift
mm,
or something like that, right?" But somebody could be a fan of Taylor Swift and be offended that you said and said that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now and then mind you, you know this person, but you did not know that.
yeah,
Like, and it's like, they expect you to get that. Like you didn't. Like you can't just say anything you want. Like no. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it sucks that you have to sit there and hold yourself back because it sucks you have to hold yourself back or hold your words because you are afraid to offend somebody because that's what it is. Like you have to get that person right then and there. And you can't. It's difficult, man. And then you
Mm.
and to sit there and say like, oh, like you should already gotten it or you should already known. No, the fuck I shouldn't. You ain't tell me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
You know
like
what I'm saying? If you didn't open your mouth, if you for me, if I sat there and I did say something or I forgot something, or like if I should know something, you should tell me that, so then I would know for next time. But if I don't know at all, then you're gonna be sitting on your heels or sitting on your hands trying to sit there and tell me that I should be figuring out, and I'm be sitting on my hands trying to figure out what are you talking about. Like,
facts. That shit crazy. It's communication is key, man. Like I just
and
never understand like why people. I know like people just don't be speaking up clearly, and I get that for sure. But it's just like, man, the video. I know the video gonna expand on why people don't speak up clearly, but it's like, damn, bro. Like I can't read your fucking mind, man. Like,
we're not telepaths. If he was, trust me, we wouldn't need to see.
yeah, like,
Like, shout out to Kenchi. Like,
yo, I'm dead.
like, for real.
Yeah, damn.
People don't have the same mind, perspective, or experience that we do. They can't automatically know what's inside us just because they're close to us. The
Facts. Oh
expectation that
my
others
god.
should understand us without clear communication often leads to frustration. When we don't take the time to explain our feelings or thoughts, the people around us can only guess at what we might be thinking or feeling. This is especially true in relationships where we might expect our partners, friends, or family members to read between the lines. But the problem is, not everyone has the same ability or intuition to pick up on subtle cues or nonverbal communication. What seems obvious to us might not be obvious to them, leading to confusion and, at times, hurt feelings. For if we explain everything about our thoughts, emotions, and needs, we open ourselves up to being misunderstood or rejected. This fear of vulnerability can keep us from communicating effectively. We might worry that if we say too much, we'll be judged or dismissed, so we opt for silence or vague hints, hoping the other person will pick up on the unspoken message. This is where the disconnect begins. The other person doesn't have the same context, experience, or understanding of our situation, and so they can't read our mind. The result is often miscommunication, feelings of isolation, or resentment, as neither party fully understands what the other needs. Hate.
Oh, oh, God. Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh, oh fuck. Oh Lord. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Like, bro. I've seen too many people do this, man. Like, too many people do this, man. Like, bro, I'm over here losing it. Oh, I'm losing my mind. I can't handle this. Like, oh, I'm droning up my words. Okay, so let me say this. I seen somebody. Okay, he got this friend group on Discord, right? Got this friend group on Discord. Like, this dude, they were like just like making jokes at each other, right? Just friendly little roasting. And I guess it got excessive for him. And then he was like getting, I guess he was getting mad at them. He's like, "Nah, bro, chill." Like, I guess he were getting mad at them, but it was weird though, cause I guess they couldn't know that he was mad. It's online. They couldn't know that. They couldn't see his body language or anything like that. So it's not really that clear that he was that mad at their jokes. But he got mad. He left VC, and then he was like, y'all fucked up for what y'all did. It's like I don't care about my feelings." And it's like, and they were like, "Bro, we couldn't tell you was mad." He's like, "Bro, how can y'all not tell, bro? Because my voice is ill. My voice, the distortion in my voice. Like, how can you not tell, bro?" Granted, I wasn't in the VC, so I don't know how clear it was how mad he was. But he was mad at his friends for not understanding his feelings and how he felt about the whole situation, and he felt like his feelings were dismissed at the expense of their jokes, and he got mad at that, and they were like, he was like, bro, you should know that I don't fuck with that shit, bro. Like you should know that, bro. And they were like, bro, how could we know that you were mad though? And I was like, damn, there was a lot of miscommunication going on, a lot of misunderstanding. And it's like I feel like he didn't really fully express himself when it comes to those type of situations. Cause I don't even think that's the first time that situation happened. It probably happened many times before, but he didn't really express clearly that he doesn't fuck with the excessive like jokes. You know what I'm saying? And and they were like, bro, you should explain that clearly to us that you didn't fuck with that. And then he was like, bro, I don't need to do that, bro. I will feel like a bitch if I ain't do that, bro. Like I don't gotta do that. That's some bitch shit, bro. That's some bitch shit, bro. And in my head, I'm like, bro, that's a part of being a friend, or being that's a part of like a relationship with somebody. You have to clear communication is key. Just because like he just thought it would like hurt his pride if he did that. Like he was just scared of being vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? He ain't want to look like a bitch. Apparently, he ain't want to look like a bitch. That's basically what he said. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. And like people want to be understood, but they don't want to explain themselves because they scared of that shit. Like whether it's like they don't want to look like a bitch, or they don't want to get rejected or misunderstood. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. I saw that in real time. I'm like, bro, come on, man. But granted, he was like, bro, yeah, I was mad. How could y'all not tell I was mad, bro? And like, I don't know. Certain people don't sound mad. Some people got a calm voice. He probably wasn't even crashing out like that. But they were basically just like they didn't know. Basically, everybody was in the dark about it. They didn't know that he was getting mad like that, and so they kept going. But like, clearly, the nigga didn't communicate that uh he didn't like that type of like shit that they were doing. He didn't like that type of behavior. He didn't clearly communicate that. He's like, bro, I don't gotta say it, bro. I don't gotta say it. I'm not like that's some bitch shit, bro. That's some bitch made shit. Like I'm not a bitch. Like I ain't gotta say it, bro. Y'all supposed to know. And it's like, damn. He's like, y'all, if y'all are really my friends, y'all would know. And it's like, okay, bro. Too many people do that shit, bro. I swear to God, too many people do that shit, and I hate it. I really do. But I understand because it's personal issues that they deal with themselves. But boy, I tell you, man, that segment right there hit hard because it's like, yeah, it's crazy. That's a crazy paradox. A lot of people deal with that issue of that fear of showing their vulnerability, bro. Like it's crazy. Like that nigga dead ass said. Granted, he's a grown ass man too, but I don't think age matters when it comes to that those type of like things because it's like we develop the more we grow up, and it's like there's no age limit on how you're supposed to like act. You know what I'm saying? Some people are still learning. They can be 60 years old. Some people still learning. Like you still learn throughout your life. Growth is eternal, bro. You're always growing in other ways. You know what I'm saying? Growth is eternal. I'm gonna always say that. Like you're not gonna know every fucking thing. You're not gonna learn every fucking thing. Like you will always be subject to your own emotions in certain situations. You'll be subject to fears that you haven't even overcame yet in certain situations. Whether you're 50 years old or 20 years old, it don't fucking matter. Growth is eternal. But like I said before, what he did was crazy. And I'm like, damn. If that's the case, he need to communicate clearly that he doesn't like those type of situations. But I'm glad regardless they grew from that conflict regardless because at least he expressed that openly even though it wasn't ideal. He expressed that openly he doesn't like that, and of course they grew from there. But yeah, clear communication. It was a lack of clarity there for those people who was roasting them. It's crazy. That segment really hit hard. Like I resonated with that segment heavily because I was a witness of those type of like situations. I ain't gonna lie, that shit crazy. Crazy. That shit blew my mind. This video is crazy, bro. One of the greatest videos I ever seen. Like this is mind blowing. So compelling, so profound. Wait, Jisho, you there?
I'm here.
Oh,
Oh, I thought I was. No, my bad. My mic got turned off.
damn, I ain't hear
Nah,
nothing
like
you say.
that's what I'm saying. Cause I'm sitting there saying shit too. Cause I'm sitting here like, yo, damn. Like it really makes it does really make sense. Like I'm like they could have literally just said could literally just said something once, bro. Like be like, okay, yo, yeah, this like I feel uncomfortable with y'all saying whatever kids could be, and then if they sat there and they kept going with it, that's when it's like okay, it warrants it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you let it be known first. But if you ain't let nothing be known first, nobody's not gonna figure that out, bro. You feel me?
Yeah, that's
So
what I'm saying. Like I wasn't in the VC for to hear what they were saying, what he was saying, but it's like obviously they didn't understand. Like he was mad. They didn't really understood it. He didn't make it clear enough.
facts.
And then he was just like, y'all supposed to know. Like if y'all my friends, y'all would know. And I was like, damn, okay. He's like, I ain't gotta say it. I would be a bitch if I say that. I'm like, okay, damn.
Like, is there anything else you'd like to get off your chest?
He's
Like,
like, bro, that's a bitch made shit. Like, I'm not. I don't have to say it clearly. I don't have to say it. Like, y'all should know. It's like, bro, I was like, damn, he got some pride there. I'm like, shit. Well, okay. Like, and he like 25, bro. Dude, 25, and the dudes that was roasting them, mostly teenagers, and one dude 22 years old. And I try not to put age into it because growth is eternal, like I said. But it's like, damn, it's crazy to see that, bro. I'm like, shit. Okay.
I think, nah, his age will play a little bit of a part. And the little bit of a part I'm gonna say is the fact that he can, how do I say it? It's the fact that the fact that you had to sit there and wonder how the hell how did he end up being like that?
Yeah. I'm just probably like a fragile ego kind of thing. But
And for me, it's either that or somebody really sat there and played. Somebody really sat there and did that to like did that to him to some grace. You feel me? Somebody
yeah,
really was respecting him and he had no choice. Like you feel me? So now everything is a self defense mechanism when he feels disrespected.
yeah, facts. Probably he probably opened up before, then probably got made fun of or some shit like that. Something happened, but damn,
Like,
I just in that situation, I was just like, I didn't say anything. I was just looking at the chat. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Cause all his friends were just in the dark. They were like, bro, we didn't know, bro. Like, damn, man. Like, you gotta tell us, bro. Like, we ain't know, man. And then niggas was arguing and shit. I was like, damn, crazy.
facts.
Now on top of that, seeing women push this like if he loved you, he would, and they don't be communicating shit clearly, and it's just like, yeah, okay,
Well, if you loved him, you'd have communicated.
yeah, damn,
Nah, see how that sounds? It sounds crazy, right? But that's a true statement. That's a true statement, though.
and
It's
like, yeah, and then niggas be telling you like, bro, my girl be getting mad for no reason, bro, like, damn, and they be telling me what be happening. I'm like, damn, it's like, bro, I'll be saying something, and then she'll just get mad out of nowhere, and I'll be knowing, bro, like, and then she getting mad at me, and I don't be knowing anything. I'll be clueless. I'll be like, damn, bro.
and I don't even be mad at. And the thing is, it's hard to be mad at them because you may think like, yo, maybe I'm like, nah, maybe you tripping, maybe you not, maybe you really not just for me.
Yeah,
Maybe you don't be paying attention to her. Maybe you don't be caring about her. And then you sit there sometimes watching it, and then you see it in 4K, and then you're like, oh, I see what's happening.
yeah. It's
I,
either the man don't care about them, like she don't be paying attention at all, or it's just she just don't be saying shit.
like she don't say anything, and it's like, damn. Well, what do we do now? Like now we feel awkward.
Like, damn, like, well, it's time to sit down and have a discussion.
Like now it's time to understand. Now that we know the problem, how are we gonna solve it?
Yeah, facts. Like, we got to get through this one way or another. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy too, like, cause even if the conflicts, even though they don't be ideal, even though like it'll be high emotion, cause I know that shit get built up over time. Cause like if you don't keep saying shit, like if you don't say shit, it's just gonna build up over time. The miscommunication just gonna build up over time. So it's like once y'all have that big discussion, even though y'all blow up at each other, like what the fuck, like get angry, y'all can still grow from that. It's either that or the relationship completely breaks.
Yeah. Because the thing is, and another thing, like it's a key fact too with that. a lot of people who like to have peace in their lives, they will never want to argue.
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah,
They're not
that's what I
they're
said
not,
before. People just be disengaging.
they're not gonna argue with you. They're gonna sit there. They're gonna be like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna just leave this relationship because I'm not gonna lie to you. You're causing a mental problem to me, and it's like, damn. I'm like, well, damn. like,
Oh, like, well, fuck. Oh, all right.
like, 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 you feel me? Because I feel like I could be wrong. Like, some women could tell me I'm wrong, but because I'm wrong. But sometimes they get that dopamine off a fucking argument, bro.
Oh
Like
yeah, some people they be enjoying it. They be enjoying that shit. Like,
they like when you sit there and they like when you sit there and goddamn. They like when you sit there, you challenge them and let up because it's like now you're sitting here, um,
I be trying to get
uh,
the last say and shit.
it, getting the thing word you yelling over her like, and then like they like that little they like sometimes they like that little verbal abuse. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like it's like, bro, they they like it when they need it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, bro. That shit. Hell
when you
no.
tell them like, oh fuck out of you, stupid as fuck, fuck out of here, look at you looking stupid, and it's like, yeah, they like that shit.
It's like, I love when you get mad.
And they like yeah, like it'll be like, and then what makes it worse is that they'll be the one that gets you pissed off, right?
Yeah.
And then they'll go say, calm down, bro.
Oh my
Mm.
god.
Oh, oh,
Oh my god. That shit is a
ooh,
trigger,
ooh,
nigga.
ooh,
That is a
ooh.
trigger. Like, yo, calm down, dude. Like, just calm down. It's not that deep. Oh boy, it's not that deep. It's like, what the fuck you mean, bro?
Another one of those. Like, you know what?
Niggas finna heat the fuck up, bro. It's either that or they'll get so mad that they just can't say nothing. You're like, all right, bro, you got it, bro. You got it, bro. They'll just disengage. Like, all right, you got it, bro. You
I'm
say
like,
something else, you might get hit. I don't know.
like for like I'll punch you straight in your shit. Like I'm not even bother, bro. Like, you know, and that's the lack of communication, lack of understanding will put you in a really different situation. Like, bro, it's like okay, whatever.
Like that, I might go to jail. You say something else, I might go to jail, bro. But all right, damn. I've been in those situations. I got so mad I couldn't say nothing. I'm like, you know what? You got it, bro. You got it. Cause I might say something I might regret. I'm not even gonna say nothing. Damn, bro. Nah, that was a good. That's one of the best segments because I witnessed that too many times,
Being
man.
judged. It's uncomfortable, it feels unfair, and it can leave us feeling small or misunderstood. When someone judges us, it can be hurtful, especially if we feel that they don't truly know us or understand our circumstances. No one wants to feel like they're being evaluated or criticized based on superficial qualities or a single mistake. We crave acceptance, and judgment often makes us feel like we don't measure up. Yet, despite our strong dislike for being judged, we often find ourselves judging others. It's almost as if, while we resent the act when it's directed at us, we do it without hesitation when it's directed at someone else. It's easier to criticize than to be criticized, and that simple truth explains
Hmm.
much about why we engage in judgmental behavior. Judging others often comes from a place of insecurity. When we
Hmm.
criticize someone, we may feel a temporary sense of superiority. By pointing out what someone else is doing wrong or what they could be doing better, we make ourselves feel better in comparison. It's a way of lifting ourselves up without truly earning it by lowering someone else. This habit of judgment often comes from a lack of self-acceptance or self-awareness. When we criticize others, we avoid looking at ourselves too closely.
Hmm.
Instead of focusing on our own growth or areas where we might be flawed, we divert our attention to the flaws of others.
Hmm.
It's a defense mechanism. If we can focus on someone else's mistakes, we can distract ourselves from our own. Take a simple example. You might find yourself judging someone's appearance or lifestyle. Perhaps they're dressed differently from what you think is normal, or they have a habit that you don't understand. It's easy to make a snap judgment about them, to feel that they don't measure up to some unwritten standard. But why do we do this? Often, it's because it's easier to look outward and find fault than to examine our own actions, habits, or insecurities. When we focus on someone else, we avoid confronting our own discomforts or the things that make us feel vulnerable. It's a way of avoiding the harder task of self-reflection. At the same time, when we are judged, it feels deeply personal. We feel as though we are being seen through a narrow lens, reduced to a single aspect of ourselves. When someone judges us, it's as if they're saying that they know who we are without understanding the full picture of our experiences, struggles, or intentions.
Fuck.
This is why being judged can feel so painful. It's not just the criticism itself, but the implication that someone thinks they know us better than we know ourselves.
Ooh.
It undermines our sense of individuality and self-worth. Yet, in the act of judging others, we do the same thing. We judge them based on a limited perspective, often failing to see their full story. We might make assumptions about someone's behavior or choices, thinking we understand their motivations, but in reality, we are only seeing a fraction of who they are. This is why judgment can be so toxic. It's based on incomplete information and often leads to misunderstandings. We forget that everyone has their own battles, insecurities, and reasons for behaving the way they do. When we judge someone else, we fail to acknowledge the complexity of their experiences, just as we feel that others fail to acknowledge ours when they judge us. The habit of judging others is also influenced by societal pressures. We live in a world that often encourages comparison. We are constantly exposed to idealized images of success, beauty, and achievement, and these images shape our standards for what's normal or acceptable. When we are surrounded by these standards, it becomes easy to judge others who don't fit the mold. The more we judge others, the more we invite judgment into our own lives. It's a reciprocal process. When we criticize someone, we often create an environment where criticism is normalized, where we become more vulnerable to receiving it in return. And when we are judged, it often leads to feelings of anger or defensiveness, which then perpetuate more judgmental behavior. It's a cycle of negativity that only serves to distance us from each other and from the understanding we all crave. One of the reasons we judge others is because it's easier to criticize than to be criticized. It's a form of self-protection. Criticizing someone else allows us to avoid facing our own flaws or vulnerabilities. When we criticize, we momentarily feel more secure, as if pointing out the weaknesses of others somehow makes us feel stronger. It's a way of avoiding the discomfort of being vulnerable or exposed. It's far easier to highlight someone else's mistakes than to face our own, because criticism often feels like an attack on our character, not just a judgment on our actions.
Oh my god, bro. The cooking is gonna give me a heart attack at this point. Bro, like this shit is like literally blowing my mind, bro. Like this shit is crazy, nigga. Like I definitely judged other people in the past. I have, and like the thing is, like, yeah, it's, oh my god, cause when you judge other people, bro, for doing shit that's like, you know what I'm saying, for being flawed, you refuse to look at your own flaws. You refuse to self reflect, and oftentimes when they do something that's like they make a mistake or something, or they have a flaw within their character, you have that exact same flaw. It's a reflection of yourself, and you try to criticize that, judge that reflection of yourself because you don't like it because you do it yourself.
For me, and then you don't, and the thing is, like, it's okay to have, it's okay to have constructive criticism, but don't
Yeah,
sit there and act like. And but the problem is, a lot of people be judging, believing that they're perfect,
yeah.
and that's where the issue is. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like we're just as flawed as anyone else could be. Like, bro, and we
Facts.
refuse to be aware of that, self-aware of our own flaws. You know what I'm saying? And then once we get criticized, that's an attack on our character. We get offended. You know what I'm saying? That hurts our ego.
Straight like it. So it's like, you know what? All right, whatever, man.
Like, bro, that shit. Cause I seen, like, it was this one server where people were posting selfies and shit, and the dude posted a fit pic in the mirror and shit like that. Posted a little fit pic, and this dude that's supposed to be his friend, he apparently he roasted him for that fit, but then he deleted it, and then he was like, if you like the fit, then I guess like he was just being shady. And then
Like,
his friend would he got offended by it. A friend got offended by it, and he was like, "Bro, I like the fit though, bro. Like you ain't gotta like roast me for that. Like I like it. I fuck with it. I like it. That's my taste."
facts. It's just like, bro, why'd you like, bro? First of all, why are you one? Why are you roasting? Why are you roasting the? Why are you roasting my fit? I'm not saying nothing wrong with roasting the fit. Like for me, it is what it is. But
Yeah,
at the
it's just
same,
like
at the,
yeah,
at
he
the,
done that multiple. Like he has a history of doing that with other niggas. Like he'll critique their fashion taste and shit.
I'm like, but then again, like, can you wear it better than me though?
Yeah,
And if you cannot, then shut up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
because it's like, bro, suppose if me and you wanted to talk to the same girl and she liked my fit, but she don't like your fit, but you don't like my fit either.
yeah.
So she like my fit, but you don't like my fit. So whose opinion actually matters here?
I'm dead,
Like,
bro.
you know what I'm saying? And you know who opinion actually matters in this? My own. This is my damn fit. Leave me alone. Like,
Yeah, he was just being it was just lame as hell to see. Cause I was like, damn, cause he has a history of doing that shit. Cause like apparently he has great taste in fashion, and I fuck with his taste in fashion. Don't get me wrong, I do fuck with it. But he becomes elitist at times when it comes to that shit. Like, oh, I got a better fashion taste. I got better drip than you. He's like, oh, what the fuck are you wearing, nigga? Like that's some basic nigga shit. I'm like, okay, bro. And it's like, yeah, he just being elitist. And like the video said, we live in a world full of comparisons. We see these fashion models. They be throwing the craziest fits on and shit like that. We see these fashion models. We see people, you know what I'm saying, that actually, you know what I'm saying, got appealing fits and shit. And then we think of that. We have an ideal standard in our mind, and then we constantly compare people to that ideal standard, and it's like and it doesn't match up to it because like of course people ain't gonna be able to like wear like certain shit, or they have way different like ideas of what a good fit is compared to us. Like, oh, we seen these ideal standards of fashion, so we compare it to that ideal standard like that nigga does, and then he attaches an ego to it, and it's like, yeah, I got better fashion taste than other people. These niggas can't dress. He does it to his own friends too, which is the fucked up part. So it's like, yeah.
like, bro, I understand. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, understand you make, but if you're gonna critique the fit, we can talk. If you're gonna critique the fit, at least sit there and come from a place of like understanding. Whereas I'd be like, okay, maybe I would, maybe I could change a little bit of this, or maybe I could change a little bit. But straight up roasting it, bro. Nah, you just hating, bro.
Yeah, he was dead ass hating. Like he was like, bro, what
You
the
just,
fuck? He's like them
you just,
Tims, like the Tims, like what the fuck? Like why you put them Tims on and shit? Like it came from a place of like just like elitism, like superiority. Like oh yeah, you got the inferior fashion taste.
it came from straight hate. Like,
Yeah, it was lame as hell because that's his friend. Like he ain't gonna hype up your friend and nothing. Like damn. Like hey yo, look at my boy. Hey bro. Like damn nigga. Like he just straight up hated on his shit. I'm like okay, bro. I was like, it was just lame as hell to see. I'm like, damn, cause he keeps like comparing like niggas, the average nigga fit to like some fashion model he got in his head or something, and it's crazy to see because so many people do that. I'd argue most people do that, but like, yeah, it's damn. I mean, I'm sure that I do that sometimes too, not with fashion, but like certain other shit. But I'm
yeah,
toning down on judging other people, but it's like I still critique people what people do and shit. Like I still critique shit. I like that. That's just me. I still be critiquing shit, but
I mean, if you like I said, if you judge from a listen, if you're judging from a standpoint of, if you're judging from a standpoint that you know what this is, I get it.
yeah,
But if you're just judging based on how you feel and not even understanding the other viewpoint, then it's just like you're just hating at that point. Could have just kept it. You could have kept that comment to yourself.
facts.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. People be when people judge, they got an insecurity, man. A lot of people, yeah, they
Like,
be insecure themselves.
you could have that could have been like you could have sat there and you know could have sat there and mind your goddamn business.
Facts. Like that shit. Ooh, man, oh man. That niggas be fragile. I tell you.
We believe we do. Truth is something that feels important to us, something we think we want to know. We seek it in our relationships, in our work, in the world around us. Truth is supposed to be a guiding force, helping us make better decisions and live authentic lives. But the reality is, while we say we want the truth, we often find ourselves clinging to comforting lies instead. Harsh truths are frequently pushed aside in favor of pleasant illusions. It's easier to accept something that makes us feel good, even if it's not fully accurate, than to face the discomfort that often comes with the truth.
Hmm.
The desire for truth is natural. We want to understand the world around us, to make sense of our lives, and to navigate relationships in ways that are grounded in reality. When we know the truth, we feel empowered. It gives us clarity, the ability to make informed decisions, and the peace of mind that comes from knowing where we stand. Truth has the potential to set us free, but at the same time, truth can be uncomfortable, even painful. The truth can challenge our beliefs, expose our flaws, and force us to confront things we'd rather ignore. This discomfort is where the temptation to embrace comforting lies often comes in. Comforting lies, or pleasant illusions, provide a form of escape. They allow us to avoid the difficult or painful realities of life. If we're honest with ourselves, we often prefer the lie that everything is fine, that people won't hurt us, or that things will work out in the end. These illusions offer temporary relief, making us feel safe or secure in the moment. For instance, we might tell ourselves that a relationship is perfect, even though there are obvious signs of dysfunction, because facing the truth about it would mean dealing with the pain of potential loss or change. Or we might convince ourselves that we're doing well in our careers, even if we know deep down that we're stagnating or not living up to our potential, because admitting that would force us to take action and face our fears. It's not that we intentionally deceive ourselves. Rather, it's that we often choose what's easier. Accepting the truth requires effort. It demands that we look honestly at ourselves and our lives, which can be a difficult and sometimes overwhelming task. It asks us to face uncomfortable feelings, to confront reality in its raw form. The harshness of truth often feels unbearable, so we choose the comfort of illusions instead. The lie may not be true, but it feels better, at least for a while.
Hmm. I mean, I don't got much to say about that segment. I mean, it's facts. Too many
Yeah.
people fall in the pitfall, like fall in the fucking hole of comforting lies and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They want to live in a little bubble full of fantasies and shit. And I get it. I understand it. I sometimes I do that too, but reality is just it's gonna stay there. Like reality ain't going nowhere. Like it's always, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The thing about the thing is, because everybody wants, um, because that's what we're talking about, right? We want change but resist it, or we talking about the one before.
Oh no, I was talking about the one before about we seek truth but love comfort and lies.
Yeah,
But these two are
we,
similar though. But yeah.
but the truth hurts. You know what I'm saying? But it's like sometimes, like I'd say, I'm not saying like lying is a good thing. Sometimes you do gotta lie to some people. I'm not saying um, honesty is the best policy, but sometimes it's just best to not because at the moment the truth could have hurt them. Like
Hmm.
it could have hurt them like worse than the lie. If that makes sense. Like
Hmm.
for me, like
I don't know,
you
man.
like for example, you could have been like for example, you're in a fucked up situation, but you know that if you tell somebody like you tell somebody that actually really care that you're in a fucked up position, they'll drop everything for you. But then you know very well how much things they drop. Like they'll sit there, they'll drop a lot of important shit to make sure you're okay,
Hmm.
and that's fine. But at the same time, it's like okay, now when they get sick, okay, they saved you temporarily, but now who's gonna save them? And you can't even save them. For me,
Yeah. I mean, I guess
because
it comes to a point where it's just like you just gotta
it
tell
just
them don't do that.
yeah, if it save, listen, if it saves a life, by all means. But just, but in all honesty, seek truth overall. Seek truth overall, and have understanding if someone had to lie to you.
Yeah, I can't understand why someone needed to lie to me, honestly. But
Yeah, like
I'd still be disappointed because it's just like honestly for me, I'll be more hurt from the lie than the truth. Because yeah, the truth is gonna fucking hurt. The growth is oftentimes discomforting. Like it's not gonna be comforting. Because you
yeah,
have to face these uncomfortable truths, these realities. It's gonna hurt because you're used to something different. You know what I'm saying?
it just depends on what you lied about. You know what I'm
I honestly I don't want nobody to lie to me. Period.
saying? I
Like
would, yeah, I wouldn't want nobody to lie to me, but at the same time, if they had to explain to me at a point that why they had lied to me, I'm not, I wouldn't even be mad at them at that point. Like because they've been being truth, like being like it's not something because it wasn't like a lie that like it wasn't. I'm not saying I don't care. Like a lie is a lie, no matter if it hurts or not. But it's it's more of like it if it did more good than harming that at that point, I can't be mad at that.
I don't know,
It had
man.
it has its reasons. You
That's
know what I'm
about that's looking at it in the short term though. If you tell somebody the truth, in the short term it's gonna hurt, but in the long term they'll grow from it. So that's gonna
saying?
just benefit them in the long run.
Like it's just no, I'm just saying in terms of like if you're telling somebody about themselves, tell the truth. But I'm talking about in terms of like situations because there's gonna be a situation where you kind of don't have the truth.
I just don't see the any valid route for someone lying to someone, no matter the situation though.
Yeah,
You gotta tell the truth, like even though it's gonna hurt. Like they have to grow from that situation. Like yeah, it's gonna
yeah,
happen. Like it's
yeah,
inevitable.
yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. In terms of talking to somebody, if you're telling somebody to if you're talking to them about somebody like themselves, like their character, and whatever case may be, yeah, you tell the truth, 100%. There's no reason for you to lie to them. You know what I'm saying? Because if you lie to them, then that means you lie to them and yourself at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like I said, the like for example, in terms of situation, like there'll be a situation like I said where you understand that somebody will sit there, you'll tell them the truth, like okay, yeah, I'm in a fucked up situation, and whatever case may be, and I need this, and I need that, and I need this. Yeah, they can. You could tell that truth, and they'll and you know that person will jump out the window for you, so they'll end up dropping everything for you. But then it kind of, but then you know it hurts them later. Like you know what I'm saying? You don't want somebody you don't want somebody dealing with your problem. Matter of fact, let's put it in a better way. Say if you're in a like you're in an internal situation with yourself, right? And and somebody asks you, "Yo, bro, you okay? You need something?" And you be like, "Nah, I'm fine." You know very well you ain't fine, but you be like, "Nah, I'm fine. I'm good." Like you know what I'm saying? You just don't want to
Hey,
worry the other person. Like you know what I'm saying?
I
That's
about to
fine.
say it. I mean, it comes to a point you have to be vulnerable, bro. Like you just
Yeah,
gotta be vulnerable with like
I'm fine. I'm
anything you're
fine.
going through.
Like you know what I'm saying? You lied to them at the moment, but then when you fixed your problem, you tell them later, like yeah, like I was in a really messed up situation. I just didn't want to worry you, which was fine.
Bro, niggas ain't gotta do that though, man. I understand it, but that's unnecessary because you
It's
can tell them, but then you say, "I got it. I know what to do."
it's a no it's just that's how it is in human nature, bro. Like
Yeah,
it just
it is how it is, but like that's a
it's
sign. That's a sign that you gotta like you gotta be more vulnerable. It's a sign of growth.
it's not the wrong with being vulnerable. You could be vulnerable, but sometimes like if you feel like you can fix it yourself, sometimes you don't really need to. You say I'll be fine.
Hey man, I just look. I'm not. I just don't see a reason to lie. If someone asks me how I'm doing, like I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm not doing good, but I'll be alright. I'll try to fix whatever I got going on. Like I'm not gonna sit there and be like, no, I'm good, man. Hell, fucking no.
No, 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 I'm alright.
it, it just comes to a point where like you have to be vulnerable because it's just going them habits gonna build up because then you're gonna feel like, oh, I can fix this, I ain't gotta tell nobody. Like that you gonna do it, yeah, but like you gonna keep doing it because you realize, oh well, yeah, I can do it myself. You gonna realize, you gonna try to, once it like it becomes normalized over time, you gonna like act like it's a logical thing to do it. Like, yeah, it makes sense, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Like, nah.
Nah, no, well, yes and no.
It,
Cause
it
like,
it opens the door to negative habits is what I'm
yeah,
saying.
it opens the door, but you don't have to walk through it. Like,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
a
like,
lot of people do. That's how
yeah,
humans be. A
yeah,
lot of
a lot
people
of yeah,
do.
a lot of people do. That's true, but you know, sometimes you don't have to. You just literally just don't want to worry them at the moment. You know, and that's okay.
I mean, I
I don't.
get that, but it's going. That's what I'm saying. It opens a door. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
Like
So
I mean, if you do it, yeah, it might not open a door, but for many other people, it does. Like they're gonna
yeah,
keep doing it.
yeah, it just yeah. I'll just say it depends on it depends on the situation where you have to. You know what I'm saying? Not sometimes honesty is all truth is not good truth. You know,
I mean,
it's,
nah,
it,
I
it,
ain't gonna
it,
lie. All truths are
it,
necessary. I'm not gonna hold you. They're very
but
necessary.
not like now. Not, I'm saying not all truth are good truths. Some truths actually got people killed.
I mean that depends on the situation. Like,
but that's a whole different type of conversation for this. But
yeah, that like that's if you talking about like in a situation where it's like you in a life or death situation. I mean, if you lie, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. The lie can get you killed too, though. So I mean, I don't know. Once a nigga find out whatever you lied about, then yeah, you're done.
hey,
You're done for. So that's like a situation where you just might be cooked. You might as well like try to find like an alternative in that situation. I don't know what it depends on what it is, but
it's heavy situation. That's what I'm saying. Like that was
yeah, I
like
about to say a lie gonna get you killed too though. So it's like,
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. Hey man, true. I always advocate for the truth. If niggas ain't pursuing the truth, I don't know what else to tell you. Cause the lie is not going. It's not gonna help you grow.
We talk about wanting to improve our lives, achieve our goals, or become better versions of ourselves. We envision a future where things are different, where we are different, healthier, happier, more fulfilled. We crave transformation, the kind that makes us feel alive and purposeful. But despite this deep desire for change, we often resist it when it comes. Change, especially the kind that leads to personal growth, can be difficult. It requires effort, discomfort, and sacrifice. So instead of embracing the very change we long for, we often stick to the familiar suffering we know. It may be painful, but it's comfortable. It's what we've come to expect. And in some strange way, it feels safer than the unknown. Change forces us out of our comfort zones. It challenges us to leave behind old habits, familiar environments, and ways of thinking that have shaped who we are. While we may say we want growth, we often fear the discomfort that accompanies it. Growth isn't easy. It's messy. It involves facing parts of ourselves that we'd rather ignore, the weaknesses, the fears, the insecurities. It requires vulnerability, the kind that can feel risky. When we decide to grow, we have to confront these uncomfortable truths, and that can be painful. So instead of facing that pain, we often cling to the suffering we already know, even if it's not serving us. For example, think about a job you hate but feel stuck in. You might dream of a career change, of doing something that excites you or brings you more satisfaction. You might even talk about making the switch, imagining what it would feel like to wake up in the morning with a sense of purpose. But when it comes time to take action, the fear of change holds you back. The comfort of the familiar, the predictable discomfort of your current job, the steady paycheck, the known struggles, keeps you in place. The unknown of switching careers feels far more terrifying than the daily dissatisfaction you feel. You're familiar with the suffering of your current situation, so you choose to stay there, even though you long for change. This pattern isn't just limited to jobs.
Mm,
It shows up in our
Wait, let me run it real quick.
look at that. Look at
relationships,
that. We
feels
were
far
just
more
talking about it.
terrifying than keeps you in place. The the steady paycheck, the the predictable discomfort of your current job, the steady paycheck, the known struggles, keeps you in place. The unknown of switching careers feels far more terrifying than the daily dissatisfaction you feel. You're familiar with the suffering of your current situation, so you choose to stay there, even though you long for change.
Hmm.
This pattern isn't just limited to jobs. It shows up in our relationships, too. We may find ourselves in unhealthy or unfulfilling relationships, yet the idea of leaving or changing them can feel overwhelming. The thought of confronting the issues or ending the relationship can be far more painful than the discomfort of staying in a bad situation. We know the struggles, the arguments, the emotional baggage, and in some twisted way, it becomes a part of our identity. Change, in this case, means uncertainty, and uncertainty is often scarier than the pain of staying the same. We stay because the pain is familiar, even if it doesn't bring us happiness. We may be afraid, we may be uncomfortable, but in those moments, we must remind ourselves that the discomfort is temporary and that the growth on the other side is worth it. Change is difficult, but it is the only way to break free from the patterns that hold us back and create a future that is better than the past we've outgrown. We all fear
Shit,
being alone.
shit. God damn. Whew, whew. Pressure, man. Hey, man. We must embrace the unknown, man. Discomfort being temporary is such a key thing to remember, bro. Cause I promise you, the discomfort within the familiar, you know what I'm saying, within the familiar is much more painful and lasts much longer than if we were to embrace the unknown. Because, like I said, it's often temporary. We get used to it. We get used to the effort that we have to put in to change ourselves, and then after that, we grow and we
Facts.
reward ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We reward ourselves over time for embracing the unknown.
I mean, which is why I think like real talk. I think how do I say it? I think how do I say it? I think honestly, like people don't understand like your life was made in discomfort. Like why do you why do you go back to why would you try to be comfortable when your whole life you've been in discomfort? For example, you
Hmm.
struggle to talk. Now you know how to talk,
Hmm.
right? You struggled to walk when you was a child. Now you can walk perfectly.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You sat there. You sat there. You learned. You didn't know what one plus one equaled until you sat there and fucking learned it. Now you know what
Yeah.
math is. Like you know what I'm saying. You ain't know that the language you're speaking was English until you learned it was English. Like you know what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
you've been in discomfort all your life. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know how to sit down. You didn't know how to play. Like for example, you don't. Some people you didn't know how to play basketball until you actually picked it up and tried. You
Yeah.
never sat there and learned how to play video games unless you picked up the controller and tried. You
Hmm.
haven't played like bro. Everything you did for your first time was a struggle. But it's up
Facts.
to you whether you want to put it down or not. That's up to you. You feel me? Because if we was sitting in, if we was born in comfort, we'd be still crawling around like babies and not wanting to try anything. Want to be just want to sit there and be held by our damn parents and be nursed for the rest of our lives. You think that was happening? No, hell no. Like, bro, like, bro, come on.
Hmm.
Like, you lived your life in discomfort like all your life. Like, bro, so why would you sit there and try to change it now? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I wish I had a like a explosion sound, bro. Like boom, like
Yeah,
damn, bro. Nigga dropped the bomb, nigga. Like,
like, for real. Like, it's up for that. Like,
bro,
like,
hey man, we overcame so many fears back then, bro. In the past, like, what's stopping us from doing it now in this present moment of like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, the only you know who is the most you know who's not afraid of change? Babies. Real talk. A
X.
kid, they want to do anything. They'll try to see if they could fly. They'll try to see if they could. walk on water or something. You're just like,
Yeah, like bro,
you know damn well it's impossible.
they're
But
the
you know
they're
what?
the definition of trial and error.
Yeah, their definition of goddamn daredevils, bro. They'll do anything, bro. If
Let me
they,
see if I can eat this nickel right here. Let me see if I can eat it.
yeah. Let me see if I can put this damn penny into the stocking.
Yeah, like bro, they'll try anything. They don't give a fuck. They're curious as fuck.
You feel me? And that's what I'm saying. And we lost that curiosity as we grew older. But then we have to really go back to being that curious, bro. We have to sit there and know, like we have to sit there and try to figure out things. Because you know what I'm saying. For example, like I never thought I would be a pool bartender or a bartender, whatever case may be. But I've learned it. I learned the skill.
Yep,
Like you know what I'm saying. I never thought I'd be delivering food to rooms.
yep.
I learned the skill. You know what I'm saying? I never thought I would. I never thought. A matter of fact, the best thing ever. I never thought I would go fly out to a state where I don't know nobody and it's just me. But I did
Hmm.
so, and you know what happened? That thing got 4 or 5 years out of me, probably even more.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you gotta sit there and understand that's you lived your life in discomfort, bro. You would never know how comfortable that discomfort was until you got there.
Facts.
Gotta get there. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's crazy how fear can just rewrite like what you did in the past. Like, oh shit, like your brain can just override all of that shit, and it's crazy.
it's like it's not it's bro. It's either fear or lack of the resource to do so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because certain things, like for example, exercise is free.
yeah,
Trying to be healthy is free. But sometimes, but you feel me? Your diet plan's probably going to be expensive, depending on how you spend, depending on how you
yeah.
budget and how you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it costs, but it's free. Meditating's free. Getting, for me, getting rest is free. You feel me? You're gonna get this, for me, you're gonna get discomfort. The most discomforting thing is exercise. Because you're like, damn, I'm straining my muscles.
Yep.
I'm straining my muscles. I might break a bone, or I might sprain something,
Like,
or I
damn,
might
I'm tired of
dislocate a
shit.
shoulder. Oh yeah, I might dislocate a shoulder,
Yeah.
or bro, I might pop a vein. Like you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get injured some way somehow doing something. But how would you know? How would you know if you don't do it?
Facts. That's all a part
For
of.
me,
It's all
what
a
if
part of the journey, bro.
facts? What if I miss? What if you don't?
Like, what if I shoot my shot and miss?
What if you don't? Exactly. If you don't, you made a three. If you miss, it's okay. You can pick up the ball and try again.
Facts. Like,
So what's up?
you have to tread into the unknown, man. You
You
never know
gotta
what the result gonna be. You just gotta put in
yeah,
the effort.
you live your life in discomfort. Live your life in discomfort, or be comfortable doing nothing. The time is not gonna wait for you.
Facts. You're just gonna get left behind. It is what it is.
The clock gonna keep moving. Whether it be matter of fact, everything changed. Matter of fact, the clock was discomfort. The clock was uncomfortable. It went from being a grandfather clock to a clock on the wall to a digital clock to
Facts.
now watches. Like, like bro, like even time changed. Dollar bills
That's what I'm
changed.
saying.
Clothing
Like,
changes.
and like with the
Clothes,
technology advancing and shit like that, it makes me think about like people who are like anti AI and shit. Like, no, fuck AI. Like, we don't need that shit. It makes us dumber. Like, what the fuck? And then the whole time, nigga, you got engineers and scientists using that shit to speed up the process of what they doing. They making
to be
their own
honest,
jobs easier. I'm like, nigga, you
listen. You can hate artificial intelligence if you want to, but people forget that artificial intelligence needed a source, which is human intelligence. Either way, it was a human that goddamn made it.
facts.
You didn't know what a computer was until somebody made it. Somebody was uncomfortable playing with electronics, and look what happened. We got gaming laptops, controllers, mics, everything.
Literally, bro.
Like you don't know what a robot. You didn't know what a robot is. You didn't know what all the. You didn't know what a cell phone is until somebody actually made one. You didn't know how to call somebody until goddamn Alexander Graham Bell made a goddamn telephone for you to goddamn do whatever. Like for traffic lights, you wouldn't know what traffic lights are until goddamn what is it?
I don't
Ooh
know, nigga.
man,
Yeah, bro.
what was his name?
I
Is it
forgot.
Garrett? Is it Garrett Morgan? Let me see.
Uh,
Can't act like I do. Yep, Garrett Morgan. You know
oh,
what
it
traffic
is.
lights are?
Damn.
Yep, Garrett Morgan patented a three position traffic signal. So yeah, you wouldn't know how to drive safely if he didn't install that in place. These niggas with discomfort. These niggas struggled more than you do just for you to survive better.
Just to
Like
make your lives easier. Like,
what you talking about? Nigga, if Martin Luther King didn't go be uncomfortable using nonviolence, my nigga, we would still be in segregation right now.
bro, we have to
Like,
we have to take these
like,
risks. We have to like do all this
like
shit. Like, if we fail, we get up,
and,
adapt, try
and,
to see what we can do better. Like,
and they didn't even have, and you know what's crazy? They didn't even have technology back then, so they had no
they had
choice
to get
but
outside, had to go outside, nigga.
they had to, nigga. Matter of fact, these niggas had to fight to read books. Now niggas don't even want to read a book. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy.
Hey, bro.
Niggas, bro. We went. The people, the intelligence them niggas back then had to fight for, bro. Niggas don't want it no more. That's crazy. That's wow. Like perplexing, bro. Nah, you have to like you gotta like yeah, bro. You gotta like the change, bro. You know what I'm saying? The more you love change, the more you are, the more comfortable you are at being uncomfortable in uncomfortable situations, bro. You're gonna always prosper, bro. You know what I mean?
Facts.
It's okay. You feel me? It's okay. You're gonna mess up. You know what I'm saying? Confidence, confidence was not breeded without being scared, bro. Feel me? Courage
Facts.
the Courage the Cowardly Dog is a coward, bro. But guess what? His name's Courage for a reason. He gained it when he needed. It mean he have to always have it. Like,
Yo.
you feel me?
Damn, nigga brought up the curry the Kyle. Damn, nigga. Nah, that's
Yeah,
a good
he's
ass analogy.
like he's a coward, but he's called Courage for a reason. For me, no, he's been in
Damn.
uncomfortable situations, but he had to figure it out. That's how he made it out. That's how he's sitting there surviving in the middle of goddamn nowhere. None of us could ever.
Oh. Courage, nigga. Hey,
Like,
I ain't think about them like that. That's crazy.
none of us could never, bro. Like,
Damn, bro. Yeah, that's that. Mm, mm, mm.
you see,
Boy,
come on, like,
I tell you, man, niggas is cooking, bro. Like this,
for me,
like nigga, this
you see,
is pure,
you,
like, bro.
you don't stand. For me, you don't stand for something, you fall for anything, bro. That's how it goes.
Facts,
I mean, the truth don't care who said it.
like, like, bro, it's crazy, man. I be seeing so many people resist all this bullshit. Y'all want change, but y'all keep resisting it. Y'all want y'all lives to be more simple. Well, shit, we got AI is developing right now. It can do research for you. It can do all this shit for you. Well, nah, it makes people dumber. It's not good for us. There's clear evidence of AI making people smarter, bro. Like Nigeria, I saw a Nigerian study where a lot of high school students used it, or a lot of young school students used it, and it boosted their you know what I'm saying, their grades, their critical thinking skills, all that shit. My nigga, like AI can make our lives much easier. I already use it in a variety of ways. I use it mostly for research though, but and to find like studies and shit like that. But it's like, bro, it makes our job so much easier when it comes makes tasks so much easier, faster to do, makes you more productive in general. Engineers and scientists use that shit, bro. They use that shit for a reason, and they're smart as fuck. And we got people out here that are dumber than fucking scientists and engineers talking about AI will make people dumb. Okay, bro. Like, if you're just not gonna adapt with the times, you're not gonna change with how the world is changing. You're just gonna get left behind. It is what it is, bro. It simply is what it fucking is. Niggas do not want to embrace the unknown. They are scared of it. Like, and then they want to say that they want their lives to be easier. Okay, bro. Okay, bro. Look around you. I don't know what else to say, man. That it like the facts have already been presented. Depends on what you do with it, though. At the end of the day, the time will pass anyway. It is what it is. Damn, low key. We can end the stream on that note. I ain't gonna lie.
Facts. Like it is what it is.
Niggas was cooking, bro. Like,
For me, nigga, we'll get to a part two sooner or later. But,
yeah, like, bro, like, I'll probably do it tomorrow since I'm gonna leave soon. But
facts.
hey, bro, if you tuned in, I appreciate you. Tuned into the VOD, I appreciate you. Tuned into the YouTube video, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of cooking this stream, very God-like advice. You know what I'm saying? Shit will change your life for real. Like this type of introspection will definitely change your life. But with that being said, W stream, go to stream. You know what I'm saying? And
W stream for real, like very introspective stream, bro. For me, it's
facts,
just for me. If you have learned something, if you watch the VOD, if you have learned something, please drop a comment. Let us know. You feel me? Because for me, you know, just as you can learn from someone, just as you can learn like negative things from someone, or you can learn information about other people, you can also learn that that's how human nature works, bro.
facts,
You learn how to be better through these type of videos. You know what I'm saying?
facts. These
For
paradoxes
me,
are just a sign of growth. You know what I'm saying?
facts. Yeah, like for me, look to inspire others, not tear them down. You know what I'm saying?
Yup. Yes, sir. So with that being said, you already know
Till
what it
next
is.
time.
Till next time. It's 117.
Peace.